elections nationwide and accused federal judges of engaging in judicial activism. In a speech in Missouri, Sessions revealed he was issuing new litigation guidelines that he said would assist our department attorneys in fighting unconstitutional orders all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Nationwide injunctions have become a favored tool by states and other groups who have staunchly opposed many of the Trump administration's more controversial policy initiatives. They allow a single judge in one federal district to block the implementation of new rules across the entire country. The new guidelines call on DOJ litigators to fight back against cases that involve nationwide injunctions. During the Obama administration, Republican-led state attorneys general and business groups often sought nationwide injunctions, a strategy that has since been more often deployed by Democratic state attorneys general and civil rights groups who seek to block many of President Donald Trump's policies. According to Sessions, courts have issued nationwide injunctions 25 times since Trump took office. Sessions said in a statement, "This trend must stop. We have a government to run. The Constitution does not grant a single district judge the power to veto executive branch actions." This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
A report finds it's not okay to just start talking to people you don't know, and a monstrosity is created in the Frito-Lay laboratory. This is the Onion Week in Review. Local newborn Nathan Jameson surprised the world earlier this morning by irrevocably losing all faith in humanity after just 6 days. Though he's not yet developed the capacity for speech, spokespeople for the 6-day-old baby have confirmed he already knows that humans cannot be trusted and that most people lack self-awareness about their own destructive tendencies.
While most people need around 30 or 40 years to truly understand that the vast majority of humanity is shallow and irredeemable, baby Nathan's convinced that he has seen all that he needs to see. People have been nice and even brought him toys and presents. But the fact is, Nathan knows they're all full of shit.
And in this week's science report, botanists discover trees are all slowly trying to strangle each other. In other news, a fun-loving turtle is all business when it comes to feeding time, and a partygoer rolls a couple of fat burritos to pass around.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome to Free Talk Live. You can take control of the airwaves here. Our toll-free number for you is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And also, we have Discord. The Discord on-air call-in lines are open and available to you. If you want to sound like you're sitting here in the studio with us, just jump on into the Discord server over at discord.lrn.fm. And it is free to do that. Discord, nice little chat service, and it's there 24/7. But if you want to get on the air with us, you have to do that during the show hours, which, of course, are 7 nights a week, 7 to 10 at night Eastern Time. So if you're here live with us, that's great. If you're listening later via podcast or maybe on a radio station that delay broadcasts the show, you can still participate in the show. You just have to remember to call in when we're live. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
Of course, we'll take your calls and thoughts about whatever's on your mind. History was made this weekend, or actually on Friday, here in New Hampshire, when what we believe to be the first in history transgender candidate for county sheriff filed in Concord, New Hampshire for the Cheshire County Sheriff race, which is where we live. We do the show in Keene, beautiful little Keene, New Hampshire, the county seat of Cheshire County in the southwestern county of New Hampshire. And not only is the Libertarian Party here making a comeback, meaning that they are now here in New Hampshire on the ballot at the same level as the Republicans and Democrats. That means that the Libertarian Party now has the ability to do, let's call it a last-minute appointment. So, like when you're running for political office, usually there's a filing period, right? Like you have to file back in June, and then you get on the primary ballot, and then if you have a primary opponent or a challenger, you have to defeat them, and then you get it to the general ballot. That's typically how it works. In this case, Aria DeMezzo, who is one of the co-hosts on Call to Freedom, which is a great show on LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network,
precedes Free Talk Live
in the afternoons on weeknights, or weekdays. It does. She filed sort of after the fact, after the primary had already been done. There was no Libertarian candidate that filed earlier. She kind of moved here in late June, so she wasn't even here during the filing period. So she couldn't have filed in June if she'd wanted to. She didn't live here yet. But she made the move here as part of the New Hampshire Freedom Migration, which is this ongoing migration that Mark, you and I, and Melanie, we're all a part of. We all moved here for this migration to bring libertarians into one place. And she decided this summer that she was willing to be a candidate for the Libertarian Party. Because, again, Libertarian Party now has ballot access at the same level as the Republicans and Democrats. So that means that if you want to file for office, you pay the same filing fee as the Republicans and Democrats. So
$5 or something?
For Cheshire Sheriff, it's $10.
Okay.
That's it. And you don't have to get any petition signatures or any of that stuff. But also now, because the Libertarian Party is at the same ballot level as these other parties, essentially a major party status, that means the party officials, the chairman and the executive board, after the primary, they can just name candidates. They can just say, oh, there's an open seat for sheriff. We're going to appoint this person. Oh, there's an open seat over here for state representative.
So any position anywhere in the state. The 400 state reps, which are reelected every 2 years.
Yeah.
The senators are every 2 years also?
Yes. Every state office here is 2 years.
26 senators, the governor, the sheriff, the county commissioners.
Senators, but
the...
right, 10 sheriffs.
The city council, any position in the entire state, the libertarians can just appoint somebody to run.
Correct. So as long as the person who wants to run has the approval of basically the executive committee of the Libertarian Party, then they're in.
Yeah.
Oh, so then I should stop voting for people where there's no. I should stop doing write-ins for empty slots then.
Well, if a person was to get enough write-in nominations or write-in votes in a primary, then they would get the nomination, and then they wouldn't be able to appoint somebody into that.
Right.
That
yeah.
seat.
So for that reason, I should probably quit doing that.
But the odds are that somebody's going to get enough. You have to only get 35 votes for write-in to get in, but no one's ever done it. At least not in the Liberty movement, not in the time that I've been here. I've never seen anyone ever accomplish 35 votes. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. It's hard to get 35 write-in votes.
I imagined...
I thought Garrett did at one point.
I don't recall that.
So, by the way, municipal offices are nonpartisan, so libertarians wouldn't be able to do that part.
Municipal, right. Yeah, like city council, right.
Or a selectman or something like that. I would imagine that I, as a person who had been in my community for 10 years, could say, write me in for this empty slot that I did not file for, and that I could get it, but... Again, it wouldn't be particularly easy. You say it, you haven't seen it done, but I think I could do it.
So this is how it happened. So for people that wonder, well, how did Arya all of a sudden get on the general election ballot? Surprise, it's a legal process. The chairman of the party can just say, put this person on. So that's happening, and she's trans, which, of course, also makes it historic because she did some research and could not find any evidence of any other trans sheriff's candidates anywhere in the United States. So we believe this may be the first transgendered sheriff candidate anywhere in the U.S. So congratulations to Arya.
I'm not a big fan of identity politics generally. I say get your news where you can get your news, and in this case, that's fine by me. She's getting her news there.
Right. Now's the time for it, like that.
She's either qualified and going to do the best job, or she's not.
Right. I mean, she's qualified because she wants to end the war on drugs, as, of course, a good libertarian candidate for sheriff should do. And it's my understanding this may be the first libertarian candidate for sheriff we've even had in history in Cheshire County. So it's always nice to, blaze a new trail, to make some historic moves here in New Hampshire, as we've seen happen over time with this New Hampshire Freedom Migration. Of course, we'll keep you in the loop as the campaign develops. I did warn her. I said, beware. Get ready for the haters.
Oh, yeah, the haters are coming.
Because not only are you going to get hated on because you're a libertarian running for sheriff, you're going to get hated on extra because you're a trans libertarian running for sheriff. So
right, it's going to come from both sides.
Yeah, and Ian Freeman, so therefore you are also evil, according to some people. So we went out today to Franklin Pierce University here in the region. It's sort of about a half hour south. Here in Keene, we were invited to, or I was invited to. She wasn't in the race yet, so I just invited her along with me. But to a candidates event where state rep and state senate candidates. I'm running for state senate out here in this area. Where we went to a college, and I wasn't expecting really much at all from this because I just know college students are notoriously apathetic. They just aren't interested in the political process. Every now and then, somebody like a Bernie shows up or a Ron Paul that somehow gets them whipped up into showing up for a meeting or something.
If you're ignorant, you should opt out of the process.
Yeah, I agree.
And in all likelihood, they're ignorant.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about politics at that time. I had some theory that I understood. I liked the theory, but I didn't understand personalities or anything. And if you don't know for whom you're voting, you really should not be voting.
Well, I mean, they aren't even interested in learning about for whom they could vote, because this was the purpose of the event.
Statistically, their choices suck very badly.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. So
all of our choices suck very badly, and they, at the very least, understand that, why should I spend time on choices that are very likely to suck?
They've got classes to get to. They've got important things, in their life that's going on. So it was basically, as I expected it would be, essentially a bunch of politicians standing around talking to one another. That's essentially what the event was. It was right out.
I hear you.
It wasn't like we were invisible. We were in the middle of, right out in front of the library in a common area. They had a circle of tables set up, and it was a 2-hour-long event, and it was, full of politicians. And they just milled about talking to one another the whole time.
What else are they going to do?
Well, right, because I hope that for those people, I hope that it is some kind of a level of an ego check on those politicians, like, hey,
turns out no one cares about you. Turns
out the youth of America, they don't give an S about you and whatever it is that you have to say.
Yeah.
So, of course,
no fans here.
I'm a long time outreach activist. I know how to.
You're giving the world's smallest political quiz, which you can find at quiz.freetalklive.com.
I actually didn't bring that with me. I brought Know Your Rights information from CopBlock. And
I love the world's smallest political quiz that has the big board where you can get your little dot put
We
up
do
there.
have that now here in Keene. With the Libertarian Party. But I stepped outside of the little bullpen they had us in and just handed out hundreds of flyers to people just walking from class to class and helped them know their rights when it comes to police encounters, which really is all I really cared about. I'm not really there to get my name out so much. We're coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want.
Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global. HORIZEN.global.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses on the setup page, and then load the app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. AnyPay.global.
Bitcoin.com wants you to know about SaveItPurse.com. Since launching in 2014, over 200,000 users have saved an average of 15% for a combined $4 million using Bitcoin, or BTC. And now you can use Bitcoin Cash, BCH, to fund your account. You can save between 5 to 33% on things you're going to buy anyway when you shop using SaveItPurse.com. Add items to your cart, fund your account, select your discount, and save. SaveItPurse.com. SaveATPurse.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. LRN.fm now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial on in here, toll free, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Discord on-air call-in line rooms are open and available. Go to discord.lrn.fm and jump on in there. We'll get you on the air. You'll sound almost like you're sitting in the studio with us. Free Talk Live brought to you by Bitcoin.com. And Bitcoin.com wants you to know that you can now use Bitcoin Cash to deposit at SaveAtPurse.com. SaveAtPurse.com. That's where you can go to save big time on your purchases at Amazon. I do it all the time. We just opened the doors on the new Bitcoin Embassy here in Keene, New Hampshire.
Exciting stuff.
By the way, is the second Bitcoin Embassy in the United States. The first one is in Atlanta, run by Jeffrey Tucker, a former, sometime co-host, I guess I should say, occasional co-host here on Free Talk Live. We're probably going to see Jeffrey in a few weeks when we're at the New Hampshire Blockchain Conference coming up in early October, because I understand he's going to be speaking there. But where'd all the stuff come from to open up this thing? I ordered it on Amazon, and I got about 29% off on most of my purchases. There was one that I was a little more time crunched on, so I shot for 20% on that one, and I got that. So 20 to 29% off was what I got by buying all the stuff, tables and chairs and everything that we needed for getting this Bitcoin Embassy set up. It all came from Amazon through SaveAtPurse.com. So now you can deposit Bitcoin Cash over at Save It Purse and save big time on the things you're going to buy anyway. I mean, I could have paid 30% more if I wanted to, but why the heck would you want to do that? SaveAtPurse.com, now featuring Bitcoin Cash. As we go to Dave, he's in New Hampshire. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live. Dave?
Hi, guys. I am here.
Here you are. Dave Ridley from RidleyReport.com.
Yeah. There is some news that is kind of bad, but also draws attention to something that has gone right for the Free Staters. I guess Murphy's Tap Room in Manchester, which was started by a Free Stater, has been burglarized for the first time in its 11 years of existence.
I hope they didn't tear the Bitcoin vending machine off the wall. What happened?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Keith Murphy didn't mention it. I mean, in a post apparently by Keith Murphy, he said that they caught the burglar within 7 hours, and he put out a post thanking the Manchester Police Department for its professionalism in handling this.
Wow. Scary stuff. Well, I mean, it is a downtown Manchester, and downtown areas tend to be a little bit more crimey than other areas.
What you would think you would get out of a restaurant.
In the middle of the
Not
night?
much,
Not
but I'm
much.
surprised.
People rob them though, thinking they're going to be a pile of cash, and they're
they
not.
close out the register at the end of the night, I'm sure, like any other business.
Yeah, people remove the cash from restaurants and businesses at night so that if people break in, they don't get it.
Correct. Yeah, maybe this person did not understand that, or really just wanted some beer. Perhaps he just wanted to drink.
Heroin could possibly be involved.
Well, you're not going to get heroin from Murphy's Tap Room,
No,
but
you could have your brain addled and make stupid decisions as a result.
That's absolutely the case. So, were you just calling to share the bad news that a Free Stater-run operation got broken into? I doubt he was targeted specifically because he was a Free Stater.
Correct. But it is kind of an opportunity to reminisce about the history of the place.
Sure.
Keith sort of built it with, he just sort of had people he knew come help him build it. We didn't necessarily know that much about construction. I worked on it, and there was, it was kind of a people's effort to get it built. He eventually expanded it to a second location in a different town. So it's starting to become a chain. It's always just a morale boost to drive by his stores or his restaurants and think, that would not be there if we hadn't chosen New Hampshire, if we hadn't picked up and moved here.
Yeah, that's true. And it's also served as a location for countless libertarian meetings, whether they be cryptocurrency or what's it called? Taproom Tuesdays, which is basically a social evening meeting that happens there every Tuesday and has been going on for years. At least I presume it's still going on.
There was also an incident in 2007 where the U.S. Marshals appeared at the taproom to try and question Free Staters because some of them had been involved in speaking up for Ed Brown, who was a tax protester, and he had a standoff with the Fed.
That's been a long time.
Well, not only is the owner of the business you're talking about, Keith Murphy, is significantly successful when it comes to business. He's also been a state representative as well. I don't know if he currently is, but for a few terms he was.
Is at this moment, but I believe he's been voted out.
Oh, okay. Well, the vote hasn't
really? I thought, okay, all right. Well, he said he'll come back and run again probably at some point. He was very excited about getting in there, and I think it took him 2 tries to get in back in the 06, 07 era. And that's interesting. I thought he was just taking a break, but
maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I could not speak. I just know what I've seen and heard, and maybe I've got something wrong.
It cannot be easy to run a business.
I am not the reporter in New Hampshire. That's you, David.
It cannot be easy to run a business like a restaurant and also be a state representative at the same time. It is a very demanding set of schedules that you have to mix up there, and then to do open up another restaurant at the same time, basically a banquet hall. So the second location he has is much, much larger. It's in a nearby town. It's where the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance held their annual dinner this year. It was very, very nice. Nice gig. Hey, Dave, anything else going on in your world over at Ridley Report? What are you reporting on this week?
Oh, let's see. I've just uploaded some commentaries over the last few weeks. I haven't shot much since I left Colorado Springs last month. I have been making a lot of calls to talk radio. I called them about what you were talking about at the beginning of the show. I guess I've called 3 different shows to let them know news about the Libertarian Party over the last week. It's really wild how even someone like me, who's always been a skeptic of Libertarian Party stuff, I have to talk about what the action is, and they're the ones who are the most active lately.
They're the ones making things happen at this time.
It's been a nice resurgence for the Libertarian Party here in New Hampshire. It basically was a dead organization for years. And when Daryl W. Perry and Roger Paxton, who Daryl, of course, a regular co-host here on Free Talk Live, and Roger, great talk show host in his own right, the host of the Lava Flow podcast, when they took over the party a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, they really whipped it back into shape. And as an example of how bad it was, the previous chairman before Daryl, and I won't bother naming names, the previous chairman before Daryl was sitting on checks. People had written checks to the organization, to the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, trying to give them money, and the dude hadn't deposited them. He was just sitting on them.
It seems apathetic.
The current candidate for Gillette, or for governor for the Libertarians, Gilletta Jarvis, she was trying to become the candidate for governor in the past, and tried to reach out to the Libertarian Party to express her interest in doing that. No one ever wrote her back. That was the kind of thing. So it was the same guy. Same guy who wasn't cashing checks, wasn't writing emails back to people who were inquiring about things like giving him money and running for office. These are like the two basic things that a political party is supposed to do, right? Is raise money and run candidates for office.
The other thing they're supposed to do is go out and get denounced. And they have succeeded in doing that because the conservative activist Kimberly Morin has already denounced the Libertarian Party as being a joke. She's like a prominent blogger in New Hampshire. She's denounced them for being a joke because they're running a trans candidate.
All right. Well, hey, Dave, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. I would love to see that post, but I'm not on Facebook, so not that interesting to me on that one.
Somebody can cut it out and send it to you.
There's more coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you're invited to join us right here. If you want, toll-free number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And joining you in our studio tonight, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
By the way, I do want you to know about what used to be called Zencash and is now known as Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. What's all that gobbledygook mean? It's more than just cryptocurrency with some serious privacy technology baked right into it. That's what zero-knowledge technology is. And the decentralized secure nodes, that means that this is a secure network with thousands of nodes all around the planet. Like 16,000 was the last number that I recall hearing, which actually at the time made them the #1 most distributed, most well-distributed cryptocurrency system out there. And again, it's more than just crypto, which is why they rebranded to Horizon, because the Horizon platform not only is allowing you to do cryptocurrency, but also you can privately chat with other people on the network. And soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. So head over to their website, horizon.global. Horizon is bringing privacy to life. HORIZEN.global. As we continue, here we go to your phone calls and thoughts. You can bring up whatever you want. We're just kind of talking about some of the things that make New Hampshire a really special place for those of you who are libertarians, for those of you who are freedom-minded, anarchists, or perhaps voluntarists, people who care about liberty. You really owe it to yourself to check out this movement, this migration. And by the way, Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree, one of the best documentary films to come out of the New Hampshire freedom migration, celebrated its 6th anniversary this weekend. So if you haven't seen it yet, you ought to go check it out over at victimlesscrimespree.com. It's free to watch online. And, of course, last year we did our 5-year anniversary special screening of it, and that was a lot of fun. So if you have seen it, it's a great excuse to show it to some friends that maybe you haven't shown it to yet. Have a viewing party for Victimless Crime Spree over at victimlesscrimespree.com. Let's go to Robert. He's in Vermont, listening online. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, it was a story that came out last week. I don't have it in front of me because I'm on the phone here, but it's about some kind of a test that they want to do on Thursday, with people's phones. You hear about this?
No, who wants to do a test of phones? Is it the government?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it, like the presidential system thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. That's all we need is Trump being able to tweet directly to everyone's cell phone.
Right, that's what I said when my wife told me about it. I'm like, he doesn't have enough Twitter followers?
Yeah, I had
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I mean, it's my understanding that you can't even opt out of this.
Ugh,
no.
But, but it leads me into another question, and that is that what, if any, consequences will be for our phones? In terms of, will they be able to collect our data?
Well, they already do that.
Well, I can tell you this. If they've got that program that can send something to every phone, it can be hacked and exploited. If it can be hacked and exploited, it probably will be, because who's watching it? Well, the government is, and they're bad at pretty much everything.
Well, yeah, so they already have the Amber Alerts and the weather alerts, which you can turn off, and I did because I had my headphones in one time, and it came through anyway, and that's really annoying. And weather alerts it's not like, hey, there's a tornado. It's like, did you know it's raining? Like, okay, go away. But and Amber Alerts, more often or not, are just wanting you to interfere in somebody else's custody battle. Not all the time, but usually. So yeah, just I don't think it's any more of a security issue than your phone already is. It's just really annoying that they can at any time just send
right
a loud, shrill beep to your phone that you can't turn off.
I worry about, if they can, get my cryptocurrency or anybody else's. I mean,
well,
it doesn't seem likely.
Here's what you need to know about cryptocurrency on phones. You never want to keep more crypto on a phone than you could afford to lose, right? As far as like whether it's the government robbing it from you or whether some thief takes your phone, you leave the phone, let's say you leave it unlocked for whatever reason on the back of a toilet seat in a bar, and somebody else walks in, or in an airport, and the next person's a thief, they walk in, they take it, and they get into your crypto, and they send it all to themselves. I mean, that can happen, but ultimately, and if the NSA wants to get into your device, then surely they can do that. If you have cryptocurrency of a significant amount, I recommend keeping it in what they call a hardware wallet. This is one of the best options out there from what I've seen to keep crypto in a safe way. They say, now I'm not a programmer, I can't audit these claims, but I suspect that programmers have audited these claims because these companies that make these hardware wallets are still in business, and they're well respected. But basically, the hardware wallet is like a little USB dongle that you plug into any USB port on your computer, and then there's usually some sort of interactive, web page or whatever that you go to where you can look and see what cryptos you got on there and send and receive from it. So it's just like any other wallet. It's just a piece of actual physical hardware. That means it's impossible, from what I understand, for a virus to get in there. And it's impossible, therefore, for the government to remote access into it because most of the time it's disconnected from the computer. And when it is connected to the computer, they have it set up to where nothing can be uploaded to. You can't crack the thing. So it's pretty rock solid as far as storage is concerned. Does that make sense? Robert, thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So, yeah, it's a legitimate concern. I mean, cell phones are not particularly secure devices.
Right.
You can't trust Android. You can't trust Apple to make a device that isn't going to be easily accessed by somebody who knows what they're doing, somebody like the NSA or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Don't have secret conversations on these devices, even if you're encrypting, even if you're using an app like Signal.
If you want to have a secret conversation, go take a hike in the woods.
Yeah, right. And whisper to the other person in the woods.
Right. Watch out for drones.
That's about as good as you're going to get as far as secrecy. If you must send secret information over technology, PGP seems to be the best way to go still to this day. It seems to be the most respected, secure.
But you're still going to be looking at the PGP on a device.
Correct. So your problem with PGP is if your device is compromised and they've got a keylogger or something like that on there, then you're as good as done.
You can use secure things like secure apps like Signal or Telegram or Line or a variety of them that are out there. But if your device is compromised, your device is compromised, and there's nothing they can do about that.
Yeah. Or keep in mind also, even if your device isn't compromised, what about the other person? You don't know what their level of security is. Maybe they're real sloppy. Maybe the person you're sending a secretive message to doesn't even have a code on their phone. Maybe they just leave their phone somewhere and it's just wide open for whoever picks it up.
My best advice is just don't have secret conversations.
Agreed.
That's the best way to do it. I mean,
people do have things they want to keep from the government.
There are lots of
that's okay,
and other organizations too. There's lots of things you might want to keep secret, and it's a good idea to practice operational security. However, the bigger the secret, whatever it might be, the more likely they are to find out whatever it is.
The test message, according
if it's just your mom's secret recipe for making delicious fried chicken, you're probably safe.
But if it's Colonel Sanders' secret recipe,
people want to know that. They want to know the 11 herbs and spices.
Okay, so I did pull up the article here about this test that's going to be going out. According to Reuters, this is FEMA sending the alert. They will bear the headline Presidential Alert. According to the agency in a statement this week, the phones of Americans will make a loud tone and have a special vibration. The test message is scheduled for 2:18 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this Thursday and will read, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." The test has been scheduled to ensure the alert system would work in the event of a national emergency. U.S. cell phone users will not be able to opt out. Former President Barack Obama signed a law in 2016 requiring FEMA to create a system allowing the president to send cell phone alerts regarding public safety emergencies. Well, there you go, Democrats. You supported it when Barack Obama did this. Now how do you feel now that Trump can tweet at you right on your cell phone any old time he wants to? 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want here on Free Talk Live.
On August 24, 1992, 20 eager Cardozo law students filed into a small room to kick off the first day of Barry Scheck and Peter Newfield's Innocence Project clinic. After years as public defenders in New York City, Barry and Peter started the clinic to review cases of people in prison who could prove their innocence using DNA testing. What they thought was a few hundred cases turned out to be thousands, and a clear sign that the system needed repair. At the time, no one imagined that Barry's and Peter's vision would evolve into a national organization with the power to reform the criminal justice system 26 years later. Since that August day in 1992, there are now 565 Cardozo Law School clinic students trained, and the Innocence Project has celebrated 208 exonerations. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Let's talk tough. Let's talk comfort. Let's talk about down-home value. Made in the USA blue jeans, like you wore as a kid. Remember?
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
For good old-fashioned comfort, get Diamond Gusset jeans. Every stitch guaranteed. And our Defender motorcycle jean comes Kevlar reinforced. See them at GUSSET.com, that's gusset.com, or call 888-848-7738. That's 888-848-7738. Diamond Gusset jeans got it, others don't.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll free. You can take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms available to you over at discord.lrn.fm. What is Discord? It's a chat service that is free to use, so you can go in there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and frequently there are people in there talking in the Free Talk Live room or in some of the other chat rooms on the server, including topics like gaming and cryptocurrency, New Hampshire-related news, because we're in New Hampshire. our listeners, a lot of them are interested in what's going on here, like the new history-making transgendered sheriff candidate running as a libertarian here in Cheshire County. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, there's a detailed article about that over at freekeen.com if you want to check that out when you get a chance. Of course, it's already stirring up controversy, as you might expect such an announcement to do. So it's fun to be here in New Hampshire with other libertarians who are actually doing things, who are actually getting out there and getting active. And like I was saying, I was at a college today, Franklin Pierce University, at a candidates event, which was just as awful as I expected it to be as far as college students not being interested. But once I started hitting the college, outside of the event, I was just kind of standing in the different pathways at the college during their class changes. I handed out hundreds of flyers to those college students today about knowing your rights with police encounters. So from an activism perspective, the visit was a success. From a political, whatever, candidate perspective, I wasn't,
not so much.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything at all, and it met my expectations. So
well, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have your expectations met.
Yeah. So anyway, join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. So over the weekend, of course, there was the big deal about the hurricane. And Mark, you'd asked me to pull up a story over the weekend about price gouging. And I actually found one that was written recently. So it was written in response to this hurricane, because we could always go to FEE, the Foundation for Economic Education, and I'm pretty sure they've got a good piece that we've likely used before.
I've interviewed Robert Murphy, one of America's preeminent Austrian economists, on the issue, and basically they all come down in the same place, which is that ultimately price gouging, if you want to use that term, that the high prices that may come into play.
That's a political term.
Yeah, that during a natural disaster, in some time of shortage of a particular item, is a market signal, and it reveals complex information quickly to people. So one of the complex pieces of information is that if you're waiting until 30 minutes before the hurricane arrives to get water, or 2 hours after the hurricane arrives to get some water or milk or bread,
then you might not
or a generator,
get any.
Right. Well, maybe you deserve to pay 10 times as much. That, when it comes to...
Why shouldn't a good planner be rewarded for, with better prices?
Well, life rewards good planners until a hurricane comes, and then the government steps in the way and says, good planners be darned, we shall reward really bad behavior. And what we would like to do is reward somebody who planned poorly but has a pocket full of money and can come in and buy the whole display of water, and then no one else gets it.
Some places will put in a maximum purchase.
Well, that's more complex information, part of this complex information. But one of the reasons that we have such a thing, all right, if I have a SUV with 6 family members in it, and everybody comes in and buys the max water, then the person who comes...
There are ways around it,
who comes to provide water for their entire family but did not bring everybody in the SUV, now gets a sixth of the amount of water.
Wait, and so quantity limits are kind of just a way to try to work around prices. It's saying, I want the results of higher prices, but I know that if I, as a permanent standing building, actually do what the market is telling me to do, that's going to hurt me in the long run, because people are stupid. So that's really just a sloppy way of having price signals.
Yeah, no, I was saying that that's something they would implement in the event of they're forced to keep their prices down to
you can't
try
really
to keep product on the shelves. Right, as Mark pointed out, if you've got a few friends, then you can get around that.
And it's not like this is our first rodeo in America. We've heard the term hurricane before, right? We know what happens. Storms come in, power gets knocked down, some people's roofs get ripped off, and all that stuff. So first off, you should plan, and if you didn't, then you know that water will be available in all likelihood free. There's still piles of free water from in San Juan, out in Puerto Rico, that they didn't give out because the government's bad at these things.
Wow.
So nonetheless, there'll be free water that'll be provided by good folks from all over America in relatively short order. It's unlikely that you will in fact dehydrate If you don't, I don't know, fill your bathtub before the hurricane comes. Get some water put away. Do something. If you do nothing, it is unlikely you will dehydrate in that amount of time, presuming you have the ability to
If you
pick up
dehydrate
and
during
move.
a hurricane, you really messed up.
Well, no.
Oh, yeah, that's also true. But well, it might be salt water, but
you can't drink that water.
No, a hurricane's not going to deliver salt water to you.
You cannot drink the water, dude.
From a hurricane?
You can drink the water that falls from the sky.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just collect that stuff. They have collectors
If
for
you
that.
don't have, if you didn't collect water ahead of time, you don't have a water collector.
You can't necessarily just like put a bucket outside because the bucket's not going to be there.
I'm just saying, it's not like there's a shortage of water during a hurricane. It's just you weren't prepared for it. That's all. If you didn't prepare for it.
Yeah, and you know about this a long time in
Days
advance.
in advance.
So it's not like something that happens suddenly that you can't respond
And
to.
a lot of hurricane preparation, product and such will last you for the next hurricanes that come through. So once you get some of it, get some fresh water, you're good to go, right?
Sometimes you're going to end up on your roof and you couldn't take your water with you. And there's no doubt that at that point you need some water, but
you probably shouldn't be ending up on your roof because you should have left if that was how bad it was going to be.
Let's go to your phones.
Some
your
people
phone
don't
calls.
like to leave.
I've got the story here from Robsonian.com, which appears to be a newspaper website from North Carolina. Article written by John Sanders, who's the Director of Regulatory Studies at the John Locke Foundation. Now, I'm not familiar with the John Locke Foundation, but it does sound like it might be something that we'd have some agreement with.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll share this with you here in a moment. First, though, Michael is in Virginia listening to WNIS. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I want to talk about this Spanish Inquisition trial now proposed to be held against Judge Kavanaugh.
Who's this? Is this the Supreme Court guy?
Yes.
Say that again?
This is the Supreme Court guy, right?
Right. Judge Brett Kavanaugh. This, the main thing about this that we should be focusing on is how different the media is treating, when I say the media, I mean the Trump media. How different.
Who is the Trump media? Is that Fox News?
That's right. That's
about it? Is that the only Trump media, or is there other Trump media?
Well, there's other Trump media out there, much bigger than Fox News, but America knows nothing about it. Well,
who's the other Trump media bigger than Fox News? I'd like to know.
And how'd you find out?
Well, one example of it would be Jay Sekulow. He's on 1,350 radio stations.
Oh, you've mentioned him before. He's an attorney with the ACLJ, right?
That's right.
Okay, and you don't like him. Look, I don't know.
There's somebody on 1,300 radio stations?
It's a religious show. It's some show that's on probably hundreds. I don't know if it's that many, but
right. I mean, Rush Limbaugh's on 600.
Hundreds of stations. So, I mean, the guy's definitely on a lot of stations. How many people are listening to those stations is another question.
Okay.
Well, this is the best kept secret. You see, this secret 1,350 station network is what produced the Trump win that became a surprise to the rest of the world, except to Vladimir Putin, who had investigated that network very carefully through his underground KGB, now called the FSB, and they realized that they could put their candidate in the White House by pleasing that network. That's why Donald Trump made his first public speech after announcing at Liberty University to tie into that huge network of untapped voters which produced the Reagan win in 1980 that was such a landslide upset. So
what is this network called? Does it have a name?
Well, that's the thing. No, it doesn't have a name. That's why it's the best kept secret out there.
I don't know if I believe you. Thank you for the call tonight.
Pravda.
Well, wait a minute.
I don't have a minute to wait.
He was going to talk about Kavanaugh.
Oh, yeah. Who cares? 855-450-FREE. 855-450-3733. Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it's that big, then you should tell us about it.
I got it.
Coming up here in hour number 2, we got plenty of time for you. It's Free Talk Live.
Times are changing. The circus of politics, healthcare's low standards and high prices, And let's not forget food quality. What to do? Arm yourself with Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com. In a world of chemical imbalance and poor air and water quality, it's time you make a move. Log on to GetTheTea.com and stock up on organic non-GMO supplements. Don't forget the tea. Cleansing your body never felt so good. And we have a brand new tea called Takedown Tea, which helps support healthy glucose. All natural body support so you can be at your best, naturally. All you have to do is log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. We're not a fad that comes and goes. We are the real deal. Join us and armor up. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Changing America's health one tea bag at a time.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, September 14th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.20 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,203 per ounce. Zen is trading at $16, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,460. Antiwar.com reports Turkish officials announced Wednesday that they sent hundreds of additional special forces, along with tanks, armored vehicles, and other equipment, across the border into Syria's Idlib province. They are intended to reinforce Turkish military posted in northern Syria. Turkish officials say that the intention is to deter the Syrian military from launching an offensive against the Idlib province, which is under control of various rebel factions, the largest of which is Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front. Turkey is aligned with some of these fighters in supporting regime change in Syria. In addition to boosting their direct military presence in Idlib, Turkey has also sent a large amount of additional weapons and ammunition for rebels to use. Rebel sources say they have been told Turkey will provide military support for a long, protracted battle. Idlib and neighboring areas are the last major rebel enclaves inside Syria. For Syria to recover the territory would effectively end the war, though doing so is likely to take a major offensive. Syrian and Russian planes have been conducting airstrikes along the outskirts, trying to soften up defenses before a ground invasion. There is no timetable for such an invasion. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports lawmakers in the U.S. House and Senate say they agreed Thursday on a bipartisan fiscal package that seeks to avert President Donald Trump's promise to shut down the government in an effort to get funding for his proposed border wall. The spending bills would fund some two-thirds of the government, including the Pentagon and the Health and Human Services Department. The package also includes a stopgap spending measure to ensure the government stays open through December 7th. Details of the package have not been revealed. Representative Rodney Frelinghuysen, chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations, said the bipartisan package, should Trump sign it, would avoid a battle over a potential shutdown until after the midterm elections. Trump has threatened to force a government shutdown on October 1st if a spending bill does not include the billions of dollars he would need to build his border wall. Politico reported that lawmakers hope the fiscal packages agreed upon Thursday will make it politically impossible for Trump to do so. Representative Rosa DeLauro said the president will have to sign it into law or shut down the government. House and Senate aides told CNN that the White House said Trump plans to sign the package. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Attorney General Jeff Sessions on Thursday vowed to fight back against federal courts that issue injunctions barring the federal government from implementing regulations nationwide and accused federal judges of engaging in judicial activism. In a speech in Missouri, Sessions revealed he was issuing new litigation guidelines that he said would assist our department attorneys in fighting unconstitutional orders all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Nationwide injunctions have become a favored tool by states and other groups who have staunchly opposed many of the Trump administration's more controversial policy initiatives. They allow a single judge in one federal district to block the implementation of new rules across the entire country. The new guidelines call on DOJ litigators to fight back against cases that involve nationwide injunctions. During the Obama administration, Republican-led state attorneys general and business groups often sought nationwide injunctions, a strategy that has since been more often deployed by Democratic state attorneys general and civil rights groups who seek to block many of President Donald Trump's policies. According to Sessions, courts have issued nationwide injunctions 25 times since Trump took office. Sessions said in a statement, "This trend must stop. We have a government to run. The Constitution does not grant a single district judge the power to veto executive branch actions." This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
If you live in Williamsburg, chances are good you've seen them. Giant piles of beard hair rotting in the streets. Don't worry, it just means hipster molting season is here again. Experts say the husks of dead beards don't pose a threat to public safety and are just part of the natural life cycle of these strange organisms.
Once a year, all at the same time, every 20-something urban male sheds his ironic beard to make room for larger, more fanciful facial hair. They need the beards. They're a tough exoskeleton that protects these young people from the non-whimsical realities of life.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service says it's the largest molting season on record. In Brooklyn, sanitation crews are working overtime to clean up the loose whiskers the exuviating males have left behind. The affected youth's molting season comes right before their mating season, when the males use their lush beards to impress the local hordes of burlesque females.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. You can dial right on in here, toll free. 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, so jump on in there if you want, and you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. Joining you in the studio tonight, by the way, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
And Anarchapulco is coming up in February. It's going to be the 14th through the 17th in beautiful Acapulco, Mexico. There'll be a great lineup of speakers, including Ron Paul, Judge Napolitano, Doug Casey, and Larkin Rose, and others, I'm sure dozens that have yet to be announced because, well, it's still pretty early yet. You might want to go and grab your tickets, though, because they are selling like hotcakes. I mean, they're going fast. Last I heard, they were at about 50% sold, and this year's Anarchapulco, the 2018 event, sold out So they got Ron Paul coming back. There's a good chance this next one, even though they've got the bigger space, is also going to sell out.
So it's
look out for
important
that.
to note that not only are they half sold out on tickets, they're or more than half sold out on tickets. They're more than half sold out on hotel rooms.
Wow.
Okay. Now that doesn't mean you can't get a hotel room
Down
at
the
an
street.
adjoining. They do have an adjoining hotel. So there's still a possibility that if you don't get one in the next few weeks or whatever. But I am telling you right now,
you want to be in the hotel.
It's more fun to be in the hotel. There's going to be there's lots of nightlife type activity going on at this event with lots of people who know lots about nightlife type activities that will be having lots of what they call fun and what you'll probably call fun that you want to be near.
Anarchapulco.com. You can use code FTL, save 15% off of your tickets. We will look forward to seeing you there. Mark, you and I, we're going back down to Anarchapulco for 2019. Once again, it's February 14th through the 17th. And again, the code is FTL, like Free Talk Live, to save you 15% at Anarchapulco.com. We have a caller who was just on the line who I hung up the phone because I felt like we'd gotten to the end of the segment. We were moving on. He had something to say about this court guy, but ended up just, belly aching about the Jay Sekulow show. And, if you want to get to your point, you got to get to your point. He's now threatening court action against the show, according to my board operator. And unless we put him on the air again, so I'm going to hang up the line just to make sure he doesn't get on the air accidentally. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. We have no obligation to provide you with services here. It is an open phone show, and we will allow anyone to call in once per night about pretty much any topic they want to, unless you keep bringing the same thing up over and over again, in which case we'll ban you from the air. That's not the problem with this caller.
No.
He's welcome to call back tomorrow at this point.
Yeah,
but he
absolutely.
did want to talk about this judge guy, and you said there's something in the news about him.
Yeah. So first off, a tip to callers everywhere. If you have something you want to talk about that thing. Don't talk about other things.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that you're talking about if you're talking about other things. If you have something you want to talk about, then talk about it. But don't talk about the thing you want to talk about and then talk about something else. You don't say you want to talk about one thing and then talk about the other thing.
Right. But wait, first, blah,
right.
blah, blah.
So
blah.
if you have 7 comments, 2 questions, and an interjection, you may not get through them all here on Free Talk Live. Free Talk Live is a show where we let people call in and talk about what they want, not let person call in and talk about what they want. So, I think Mike's a fine caller. I think he's entertaining and all that good stuff, and I welcome his call in the future.
Yeah,
but
I always love hearing the liberal conspiracy theories.
He, nonetheless, had some amount of time, which was probably somewhere near 3 minutes. By the way, that's an eon on talk radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to be able to talk about the thing that he talked about, and he got to talk about it.
So, but he did bring up this Kavanaugh guy, who is the Trump appointee to the most recent Supreme Court seat. He's yet to be approved, right? What's going on with this guy?
Right. So what happened with Kavanaugh, apparently today, maybe it was yesterday, there is somebody, a woman with whom he went to high school, I believe, that is claiming that there was some kind of sexual assault where he forced himself upon her, attempted to put his hands in her clothes. Now, what does force yourself upon someone has a connotation to it that is far different than he tried to put his hands in my clothes.
Yep. Okay.
So tried to put his hands
in high school.
In high school.
Okay.
And then basically that was that.
Okay.
By the way, drunk at a party. So I don't know what else to do with it other than, boy, this sure came at the last minute, and maybe we could.
How many years later is this?
Now we
45 years or something?
Everybody's calling for an inquisition because, well, some lady said that something happened 37 years ago in high school. Now, the law. He's a Supreme Court attorney, and the Supreme Court certainly looks back at people's records and says things about what they did in the past and all that other stuff. But I don't know. This is just. It looks low to me.
So to me, there would be evidentiary issues there. If all you have
Meaning there is no evidence.
I don't know because I haven't heard this until about 5 minutes ago.
I guarantee you that there's no evidence after 40 years.
If all we have is someone said this happened 45 years ago,
that's nothing.
That is not evidence to me whatsoever.
Right.
But that's not an abnormal level of scrutiny for really most judicial appointments. We got warned in law school that if we ever want to be a judge ever, we better start paying taxes on our Amazon purchases because Louisiana has state sales tax. And I don't disbelieve that, because that's the kind of pettiness that they're going to bring up. So if they're going to bring up, your sales tax that Louisiana thinks they have jurisdiction on, and good luck with that, Louisiana, I guess. But yeah, I don't think it's inappropriate to bring. So I kind of feel a little bit contradictory, because on the one hand, even if somebody committed an attempted rape 45 years ago, to me that would bar them from appointing them to any position of authority or honor. So then maybe that has nothing to do with the Supreme Court. But from a statist vantage point, no, absolutely not. You do not want someone on your panel of gods to be an attempted rapist, if that's the case, which I haven't heard any evidence of.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know any of the details. You said it was at a drunken party. Was this a prom night date?
I don't have that. I don't have that she was a date at all. The information is not terribly forthcoming in this.
Well, because it wouldn't be, unbelievable to think that somebody in high school who doesn't have a whole lot of experience tries to put the moves on his girlfriend or his date to the prom, and she rebuffs him.
I will say this, as somebody who's basically Kavanaugh's contemporary, is my experience back in the 80s was when you put the moves on a girl, you didn't ask ahead of time.
Right.
It just wasn't done. May I kiss you now?
Apparently, that's now a thing at some colleges.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that it's. I don't. Again, I had a policy as a convicted killer, and that's what I am. My policy was let women make the first move. I just let them make the first move. And it was reasonably successful. I would often tell them, you're going to have to make the first move. I'm not going to be in a position where, I went too far or whatever. Just not going to do that. And, it worked better and worse in certain circumstances. But if let's presume that he did try to put his hands in her clothing at the time, I feel like Brett Kavanaugh today is very, 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 very likely a different person than the young man who we're presuming might have done something that was untoward at the time and then stopped when he was told to stop.
Yeah, right. And did she say that he didn't stop? Did she say that he kept on keeping on after she said no?
Buddy, we're going to have to go through the entire Inquisition to find this out. So, when you were
I thought there was a news story about this. I didn't know where you were getting this from.
I can pull up that. I read the line of what people are willing to say in these news stories. Basically, he attempted to put his hands in her clothing.
I see.
So if anybody has any more information, they're welcome to call in at 855-450-3733.
Look, I don't think rape or attempted rape is anything to scoff about. But if it's just a failed attempt of a move, a sexual move by a teenager, I really don't feel like that even rises to the level of an attempted rape. I'm sorry. If he attempts something and she says, "Whoa, buddy, you need to take me out 3 times before you can do that," or whatever her rules are.
Well, how many times does she have to say "whoa" for it to be rape? I guess would be the one question.
Well, if he were to continue and she were to say
for how long?
What do you mean for how long?
There's more coming up here in
he continues
There's
for 30
more coming
seconds.
From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have.
Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. And Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. You can get 3 Blink cameras for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform and generate income from them. This will allow Horizon to bring thousands of real-life services to the community, services that provide freedom, utility, and privacy. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Lil Drums. Every bit as fun as a full-size Nestle drumstick cone and definitely cuter. Visit us at drumstick.com. Vacations are all about family time, but you don't have to leave home to have fun. Take 1 weekend a month and devote it to family activities. Pull out the board games and puzzles, serve up some treats, or have a picnic. Even without leaving home, you'll feel like you've really had some time away. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free, take control of the airwaves, bring up whatever you want. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
And Melanie, you are a tax preparation professional. You do accounting, you do bookkeeping for folks, and people who want their individual taxes, they want help with that, or people who have a small business and want to have help with that, they can hire you.
Yeah, so tax returns at March or April, wherever you fall, quarterly taxes, and monthly plans for tax planning, so you can see if we can get you to pay less at the end of the year or the beginning of next year.
Because there's stuff that you can recommend that people do during the year to prepare for the next year's taxes to minimize the amount they pay to the state.
Yes.
And maximize the amount they get back.
Yeah, and those start at, depending on number of transactions and whether you have inventory and stuff like that, starting at $100 a month.
That's an amazing, it sounds like a very, very low rate for a professional bookkeeper to me. And Mark, you hired Melanie to do some of your family taxes, and you said it paid for itself.
Paid for itself first go. Yeah.
So, I mean, all of that, plus she's an anarchist, and she really does hate the government. So, I mean, you want to have some accountant who loves the state helping you. You know they're not going to be doing their best for you. They're going to be, you know, padding the state's wallet or padding their own wallet. Melanie's looking to make sure that you keep as much as you possibly can.
And keep out of jail.
Indeed. And she knows those laws, too. She actually likes to read them, which, you know, I don't understand why anyone would, but it's her thing. And that's the kind of person you want doing your taxes, is somebody who actually can stand reading the law and actually seems to get some sort of enjoyment. Do you actually like reading laws?
It depends, but it's not...
It depends means there are times where you do enjoy reading the law.
It's not horrible most of the time.
Okay. That's good, because I can almost not stand
desensitized myself to it by going to law school, I guess.
She's a pro. You can get in touch with her. And yeah, she did go to law school on top of all that. So go to tax.freetalklive.com. That'll forward you right on over to Melanie's website, where you can get directly in touch with her and set up an appointment for a consultation, get the ball rolling on this. Because the year's almost over. As far as year-end tax prep, it's time to start thinking about that, right? Like, it's September now.
Yeah, so for anything that would have to be done by the end of the year, you have till December 34th. Well, you have until the bank closes before the end of the year, which might not actually be December 31st, but yeah.
Till the bank closes?
So some things would require you to go to a bank.
Ah, okay.
So if the bank's closed that day, you can't do it.
Right.
But
so
yeah.
It's time to start talking to Melanie now, so you can figure out what you need to get your ducks in order for the end of the year. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and do that. All right, so Mark, we've been pulling up some more detail because obviously all we had earlier was just some general statements about this Kavanaugh guy, who is the guy that Trump is attempting to appoint to the Supreme Court. Allegations have now come out. I have the story here from the Washington Post, where this woman from his past, Christine Ford, has said that there was a party. It was in the early 1980s. Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court wannabe, and a friend, both, quote, stumbling drunk, unquote, Ford alleges corralled her into a bedroom during a gathering of teenagers at a house in Montgomery County. While his friend watched, she said Kavanaugh pinned her to a bed on her back and groped her over her clothes, grinding his body against hers and clumsily attempting to pull off her one-piece bathing suit and the clothing that she wore over it. When she tried to scream, she said, he put a hand over her mouth. She says, I thought he might inadvertently kill me. She, who is now 51 years old, a research psychologist in Northern California.
Killed? Oh, because of the hand was over the mouth?
Well, he's probably bigger than her. Most women are small.
He says, or she says, quote, he was trying to attack me and remove my clothing, unquote. Ford said she was able to escape when Kavanaugh's friend and classmate at Georgetown Preparatory School, Mark Judge, jumped on top of them, sending all three tumbling. She said she ran from the room and briefly locked herself in a bathroom, then fled the house. Said she told no one of the incident in any detail until 2012 when she was in couples therapy with her husband. So that's more detail on the story.
It's much deeper detail than I was able to find on the 2 or 3 stories that I read on the subject. All I'd heard was he attempted to put his hands in her clothes and that he put his hand over her mouth. And what I try to do in these circumstances is I try to look at what's the worst case scenario, which is clearly what this lady is trying to do. When she comes in with this 11th hour revelation that in high school in the early 80s, a drunken Kavanaugh did this, and this.
I don't think that those are necessarily dishonest or malicious, but I guess we can...
Wait, coming in 30-something years later with an allegation?
Not necessarily, I don't. And this is why. So let's say this happened to you, and you're like, okay, I'm graduating high school in a year or 2. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to ever have to see you again. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go live my life. Maybe you should be punished. Maybe you shouldn't, depending on the... maybe the victim thinks you should be punished, and maybe they don't. They just want to leave. They're willing to walk. Mm-hmm. But now you're going to be famous. Now I have to see you every time I open Facebook, every time I turn on CNN, every time I watch the news. I might even unlock my phone.
Only time I ever hear about this guy is on this show,
and it's
which
in the little news, but he's not appointed yet. And it's in the little news thing that I don't even click on. I could get off of Facebook and people walk up to me and tell me about you. So now I have to hear about my rapist in regular conversation. So now I'm like, screw you. You're not going to be famous. I'm not going to hear about this for the next 30 years. Okay. I'm not saying this woman is telling the truth. I don't know her.
Yeah.
But I understand that as...
I see what you're saying.
Well,
why you would do that.
I see it too, but so what you would do in this circumstances, and by the way, somebody attempted to rape me too, so I've got some general idea of what that might be like. I'm not saying that every situation's the same; they by no means are, but 8.5 years in prison, things like that can happen.
Okay,
and Now, what you would do is if this guy, the unlikely possibility that the guy that attempted to rape me in prison ends up as a Supreme Court nominee, you'd probably go immediately to the other side's, camp, and you'd say, hey, I got a little info. If that camp then decides we're going to keep that until the very end of all this, after we try everything else to forestall this nomination, then we're going to pull you out as the final trump card.
So
that's political wrangling.
But that has to do with the Democratic Party, not this woman.
Agreed.
Okay.
But at that point, if I agree to that, rather than saying, oh no, it's really important that you talk about this right now, and if you do not, I'm going to CNN, and they'll talk about it, then that means that you are then complicit in political wrangling. So I say that
I'm not gonna expect somebody to have that level of functioning while they're having to see. I expect that level of functioning on a day-to-day basis, but I kind of lower my expectations when I'm dealing with someone who is either going through or reliving that level of trauma. So maybe she's normally a sane person, and for the past month or however long it's been, I don't even know because I have no reason to pay attention to this guy. Having to see him and hear about him from her coworkers and get iPhone alerts and, it's on her Facebook feed every day that's going to affect your judgment.
This was delivered in a fashion that looks like BS.
But I don't know what the DNC told her.
I don't either.
We got more coming up here.
Like BS.
If you want to weigh in, you're welcome to do that here. 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. I mean, you're making an interesting point, Melanie, but the reality is there's no evidence. It's just he said, she said.
There's not evidence. But
more coming up. Free Talk Live. You can join us.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. We'll take your calls about whatever's on your mind. All you have to do is dial in to join us here. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And also Discord over at discord.lrn.fm. We got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. They are open and available to you. Joining you in the studio, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
A lot of libertarians got to know Tom Woods during the Ron Paul campaigns of 2008 and 2012. He is a New York Times best-selling author who's written over a dozen books, including The Politically Incorrect Guide to American History. Since September of 2013, so 5 years ago, Tom Woods has been putting out his own show, The Tom Woods Show, every single weekday, which means he's racked up over 1,200 episodes so far. Guests including folks like Ron Paul, Judge Andrew Napolitano, David Stockman, and hundreds more. Topics including war, the Federal Reserve, net neutrality, the FDA, Austrian economics, and other subjects of interest to libertarians. You can find The Tom Woods Show online over at tomwoods.com or search for Tom Woods Show in your favorite podcatcher. Once again, that's tomwoods.com. As we continue here, some discussion over these allegations surrounding this Kavanaugh guy, who is the judge appointee that Trump wants on the Supreme Court. Now there's an allegation from a woman that he went to high school with, apparently 3 decades previously. Sometime in the early 80s, they were allegedly at a party at somebody's house. The parents were away, and the teens were partying, as teens are wont to do when parents go away.
Yep.
And then a couple of drunken boys, including the alleged Kavanaugh, allegedly took this woman whose name is Christine Ford, corralled her into a bedroom, pinned her, Kavanaugh, she says, pinned her to a bed on her back and groped her over her clothes, grinding his body against hers and clumsily attempting to pull off her one-piece bathing suit and the clothing she wore over it. When she tried to scream, she said he put his hand over her mouth, ended up escaping as his friend jumped onto the bed as well, which somehow broke up the coupling or whatever it was that was going on there, or whatever was attempted to be going on, allegedly. And again, these are all just allegations. Now look, I'm not somebody who's going to defend a judge. I don't care. Throw this guy to the wolves. He's probably put all kinds of peaceful, innocent people behind bars in his term as whatever damn judge over whatever court.
Which I guess
he's
technically does
in.
make him guilty of rape regardless.
Certainly guilty of assault and violence against peaceful people.
Well, I mean, it's jail, so.
Well, I mean, jail is probably not a place where you're going to get raped too often. Prison may be a little bit more likely, but even you said, Mark, that prison rape wasn't as like
not in my experience.
Common
it happened far more often when I first went in than it was happening when I had been in for some time. The Florida prison system had cracked down on violence generally, But they were really sort of out of control when I first went in.
So it's not to say that I don't necessarily believe the allegations, but they are just allegations.
Well, right, yeah, I don't believe it either way. I'm just saying I have no reason to believe either of these people is lying or that either of these people is telling the truth.
You don't think that the timing of this and the 11th hour, all the testimony has already happened and all that stuff, we're just waiting for the Senate to make its sort of decisions or whatever, and then suddenly the Democrats, who really are very, very mad that Barack Obama didn't get his appointee in at the very end, and they feel like they've got to stop Trump because this will be it. This will be the, this is now the what was the swing vote is now going to be another conservative judge is, in the final hour, if we just got to rally, we got to do something. We got to pass some kind of rule that says presidents are no longer allowed to support Supreme Court justices or something.
So that's an assessment of the integrity of the DNC. I don't know what she was telling. I don't know that she wasn't trying to contact news agencies, and the DNC called the same news agencies and said, no, we want to hold this. I don't know. As far as I know, this woman does not have a massive platform, so I don't know that she wasn't trying to get it out. Also, even if she wasn't, the psychology of rape victims is kind of a scatterplot. I can't say, well, maybe she is vindictive. I mean, okay, so you're vindictive about the fact that you were raped. Like, okay.
Or the fact maybe she's just mad at it. Maybe she's just an operative who doesn't want to see him get this office because she doesn't want to see a conservative judge.
That's also entirely possible, but my only point is there's no evidence either way on this.
Right. Sure.
Like, there's not evidence that she's lying. People are going to use this, and I think that you were earlier that this is evidence that she's lying, and I don't think that it is.
Okay, I'm of the opinion that it's suspicious because she's late, and I'm also of the opinion that people change. So, I think that the young person that I am today is not the young person. The person I am today is not the young person.
You got gray hair, bro.
Right, I'm not young. Is not the person who went to prison in 1989.
Right, so that second point is kind of irrelevant to her. I know that there are things in my life that I had been willing to just walk away from and like, okay, I'll just drive 2,000 miles away and I don't have to see you anymore. You call it even. But I don't want to see you in the news every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
but I can't.
I don't know how I would necessarily.
Well, as a person who had people attempt to rape me, I can say that I would not make the effort to go after them if they otherwise seem to present themselves. Now, this is obviously everybody who attempted to rape me was a convicted felon, so the chances of them becoming Supreme Court justices is nil. Of all the people in the prison the whole time that I was there, I am the most likely to become a Supreme Court justice of those people, and my chances are nil. So I mean, I don't want to see those people do poorly, wouldn't want to pull the rug out from underneath them.
Because they could have changed.
They have changed if they're not in prison.
Okay, but so if it's, I don't know, so maybe to you that's not as in your face. If they were going to be hired where you work.
Yeah.
Would you want to see them every day?
Oh, I can see that if you're talking about them being hired at where I work.
Even if it's not that you don't think they should have that position, you just don't necessarily want to see them every day or hear about them ever.
Yeah, I would probably say something to my boss to the effect of, "Look, I'd like to talk to you about what happened," and that would probably.
Yeah, so I don't think that those are different.
I get where you're coming from.
No, I totally understand where Melanie's coming from on this. Ultimately, but as we've pointed out here, there's no
evidence, and this isn't going anywhere.
It's awfully convenient timing.
Right, there's not going to be any evidence, and we knew there wasn't going to be any evidence.
And this does seem to be a trend, doesn't it? I mean, where recently there's this kind of ongoing thing where people have come out of the woodwork, whether it be Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby, with decades-old, in some cases, allegations trying to drag somebody through the mud. Again, I don't know what's true and what's not. I really have no idea, and I don't follow the cases intimately closely.
With Weinstein and Bill Cosby, that makes less sense because they were more visible, or at least Cosby was more visible in the past. So that same issue isn't really there.
But you're saying your issue isn't
Kavanaugh
there.
had a hearing and got appointed to the federal bench. Mm-hmm. So if she wanted to say something about
benches, Sorry, federal judges don't typically make the news.
That's true.
Agreed, but chances are she heard about it if she pays any attention to the news because she's going to be tuned into that name.
Right, but I could see you saying, I'm going to have to hear about this week. I'll just not watch the news this week.
Yeah, but she may not have a Google search for her rapist.
Well, yeah, that too. Like, you probably don't have a Google
How the hell is she going to know?
I could see, especially like they live in different districts. I don't know who got appointed to the federal
I don't
judge
either.
last.
Who's the federal judge in Concord right
There's
now?
no
I have
evidence.
no idea.
There's not going to be any evidence. This is a 11th hour plea, and that to me makes it seem darn suspicious.
Here's the other thing about this, and then we're going to go to your calls. But everybody makes this big deal out of these judicial appointments as though, well, you got to stop this guy. Okay, so let's say that they stop this guy. Well, doesn't Trump just get to appoint another guy?
Yeah, sure.
There's a zillion judges out there, so I mean, it's not like there's a shortage. Oh crap! I couldn't get Kavanaugh in. What are we gonna do?
Right, and there's a third of a zillion that's from this Federalist Society. That this Federalist Society would.
Yeah, but they can also
appoint.
keep in absence for that time frame.
Yeah, but he's gonna put somebody else in if they, if this guy bombs, he's got somebody else in his back pocket, right? Like there's a second. There was a runner-up that didn't get picked the first time.
Right, he's right out there.
Who's going to get picked the second time?
Or it, or
and
right
then there'll
there.
be all this controversy over whoever that guy is, or gal, or whatever. It's Free Talk Live.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Mineral Doctor. You've heard me talk about 90 for Life for years. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids. You may not know this, that I've actually designed Arthrodex for animals. That's right. Your pets need 90 for Life too. Get this essential pet product by calling 877-279-9422. That's 877-279-9422. Again, 877-279-9422.
The Princeton Medical Institute has found that the most common deathbed regret, more than losing contact with family or spending too much time at the office, is never having sprayed a fire extinguisher all over the place.
Similar themes emerged in our interviews with dying patients. Some wished that they'd taken more risks. Others wished that they'd lived a life truer to their dreams. But almost every single person surveyed, regardless of their age or circumstance, said that their most significant regret was never having grabbed a fire extinguisher off a wall and blasted it around a room until it ran out of foam.
I've lived a good life. I was a nurse for 32 years. I have 3 beautiful children, but I've never smashed my elbow into a glass case, grabbed a fire extinguisher, and gone whoosh over everything.
This is the Onion News Network.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free and bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. Plus, there's the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. Just hop on over to discord.lrn.fm. You can get interactive there. And your property and your family are precious. You can protect them with Blink. Mark, you've got Blink installed at your house.
Yeah, it's great.
We've got it here at the studio as well. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wireless, which means setup couldn't be easier. You unbox them, pop the batteries in, and then just put them up wherever you want them. Oh, what's that? You didn't get the right angle? No problem. Just move the damn camera. You don't need to run a bunch of wires, pull wires through walls, fish wires out of walls. I mean, what a hassle for setting up normal security systems. This one is so easy, and it really, I don't think it could get much easier. Go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. They've really got a slick system there, and I suspect that's why Amazon bought Blink, because they were that impressed with it. And of course, now that they bought Blink, Blink works with Alexa. It allows you to watch what's going on in your home from your smartphone or whatever smart device you use. No contracts, no subscriptions. You can get 3 Blink cameras for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off just because you're a Free Talk Live listener. Just go to blinkprotect.com/FTL. That's blinkprotect.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. As we continue here, we're going to your calls and thoughts. He's Gene, the Christian anarchist, on the Discord on-air call-in line room. Go ahead, Gene.
Greetings, guys.
Hey, and gal, we got Melanie here.
Yeah, well, guys is neuter gender.
That's true.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, it
some
is.
people say, well, that's what the language says, is that guys is neuter gender, but people say that now you're supposed to say folks.
Oh, okay.
Just like mankind is neuter gender.
Yeah,
so.
Gotcha.
That's fine. You
Anyway,
bigot, go on.
Just back from the Reno air races, had a great time.
Yeah.
Too bad no Liberty people decided to come down there. I would have liked to have visited some. But anyway, about Kavanaugh. First of all, I don't care about him. Yeah, I don't care about him. He's just another Goonerman goon as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So
probably is a rapist, but we don't know.
You never know. I think maybe they all are. But the point is, there was a reason why. What do you call it? Where the you can't charge somebody after a certain time.
Ex post facto.
Statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations.
Ex post facto is where you go back and change the law, and then it doesn't apply or does apply or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a reason that statute of limitations was part of jurisprudence at one time. Apparently, that's no longer the case because statute of limitations seems to be getting thrown out the window on everything these days.
Well, statute of limitations applies to criminal prosecutions and tort actions,
but it doesn't apply to the mainstream media reporting allegations.
I can still hate you
right.
like 50 years later.
Right, and it doesn't apply to allegations being reported in the mainstream media. So the mainstream media can go out there and drag this guy through the mud as much as they want to. There's no statute of limitations to that.
So for me, this goes to this speaks to some extent just sort of forgiveness. At what point do we forgive?
Depends on what you did.
Well, I think the best argument is these Nazi guards that they're dragging, these 90-year-old Nazi prison camp guards that they're dragging in and putting on trial. I remember one guy from Ohio named Demjanjuk that sounds familiar. In the relatively recent past, and there's another one they're hunting down to see if they can do something about him. And I just think that, is this healing? Is this what healing looks like? To continue to take old men and put them on trial when they can't even defend themselves? They're blithering idiots at 90 years old, and what's the point?
It depends. I mean, different victims are going to feel validated by different things, so that's not really something you can.
Sure.
The purpose of statute of limitations, though, is because evidence deteriorates. And I agree with that. If I was an arbitrator and somebody's like, oh, well, I have this evidence from 27 years ago, he broke my fence. Like, well, but like, you can't possibly, he can't possibly put on a defense because that evidence is gone. Like, no, you can't do that.
Well, the point remains that the evidence does deteriorate and witnesses deteriorate.
Sure.
And the fact is that this happened, if it happened at all, it was a long, long time ago when he was a teenager. So even though this is not in the courtroom, it doesn't change the fact that old evidence is crap. And this is a bunch of crap coming out regarding this guy. Again, I don't care about this guy. I don't care one way or the other. Kavanaugh or anybody, whichever goon they stick in there, they're still going to be a goon. But the point is, this happens to regular people too all the time. They bring up stuff from your past that goes way, way back. I mean, how many of us, especially us guys, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I was a teenager, I did some things that today would get me thrown in prison.
Sure.
Now, back in those days, they wouldn't get me thrown in prison. In fact, back in those days, for the most part, you get a slap across the face.
Right. What would have happened to him if he actually did this at the time, and the allegations came out at the time? What would the punishment have been to him at that time?
Well, first of all, he didn't penetrate her. He didn't strip her clothes off, so I don't think the penalty.
He allegedly attempted to, but failed.
Yeah, I mean, this is the story. Whether the story's true or not, but the story says he never penetrated her, didn't take off her clothes.
By the sounds of it, didn't really come that close. I mean,
he apparently scared her. If the story is true, he
sounds scary.
Scared her. Okay, well, we used to jump out at people at nighttime too and scare them. Well, is that a crime?
That's not at all the same.
Yeah, it's a different category entirely.
Well, it's still scaring somebody.
Well, no, because one of those is actually an assault, and one of them is I'm going to jump out onto this ownerless sidewalk and be an a-hole about it, but it's not assault.
Definitely was a physical assault, but what she's trying to claim is that she feared for her life. Well, since when does fear become a chargeable offense?
Well,
yes, the assault part is, but the fear part shouldn't be.
That is a component in a lot of statutes for different things.
Sentencing.
No, it's a component of assaults in Louisiana. Different states define assault and battery differently. Fearing for your life is a legal component of various statutes.
Yeah, and it's a bill. Apparently, it's also a reason for cops to kill
somebody.
But the point is, fear shouldn't be an issue. Yes, maybe it is, but fear is fear, and it's individual. It depends on the person where their fear level rises or falls.
Right. If somebody was prone to being a scaredy cat, and the same act was committed against them versus somebody who was cool and calm during the same act, the act was still the same, right? Like they held them down against their will or whatever it was. That's what should be chargeable, whether the person committed an assault, not whether or not the person was more or less frightened by it.
An attempt to do something is still not only a crime, but is still a violation.
Now, meaning the non-aggression principle.
So if you commit attempted robbery or attempted rape or attempted shooting, if you shoot in someone's general direction and miss, like these are still problems. It's not like, well, it's okay because he was unsuccessful. He was bad at it, so it's cool. Like that's no.
Well, I would support her in using deadly force to protect her against herself against this guy in 1983 or whenever this occurred. But, coming back later, it gets very difficult to know who did what or whatever. And I think that the point is still quite relevant that fear is in the eye of in the mind of the beholder. So I've got a story here from independent.co.uk says voter calls police on black politician campaigning door to door. Because there's a black guy that comes to your door, and you're scared of that, are you able to use deadly force?
But someone knocking on your door is not an assault.
Right. Well, you're just talking about what's reasonable and what's unreasonable. And one could presume it sounds, I don't know what would happen here. And if she had a gun and she shot the guy and her story came out then that would have been an entirely different story. And now we're talking about a very suspicious timing of a claim. That's clearly can't be proved.
I have fear every time I see those red and blue lights behind me.
Well, that is also an assault.
And this goon comes walking up to my door with his hand on his gun. Yeah,
those are called death threats. So yes, you not that you should respond to that, but yes, that would be a respondable action because it's a death threat.
You picked the wrong one for that one, Gene.
If I were to shoot but if I were to shoot the cop, then I'm not going to jail.
No, you're going to jail because the state
exists.
Going to heaven. But you didn't commit aggression. Lots of people go to jail without committing aggression.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that fear is not, it's different depending on different people. Some people will feel perfectly comfortable with a cop coming to their door with their hand on the gun.
And some people will feel perfectly comfortable with a gun barrel in their face. That doesn't make it not an assault.
That's their buddy coming to the door with their hand on the gun. So they're going to think that's just all peachy keen. Other people will be afraid of it.
Gene,
that's the point.
Good call. It is about perspective. I appreciate hearing from you. That's Gene, the Christian Anarchist. He's hanging out in our Discord chat server over at discord.lrn.fm. You want to talk to him? He's there. He's there pretty much every night, actually. He's one of the more dedicated Discord chatters. We got more coming up. Hour 3's next, and we're going to talk about this, what was it, financial abortion coming up.
Let's talk tough. Let's talk comfort. Let's talk about down-home value, made in the USA blue jeans, like you wore as a kid. Remember?
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
For good old-fashioned comfort, get Diamond Gusset jeans. Every stitch guaranteed. And our Defender motorcycle jean comes Kevlar reinforced. See them at GUSSET.com, that's gusset.com, or call 888-848-7738. That's 888-848-7738. Diamond Gusset jeans got it, others don't.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, September 14th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.20 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,203 per ounce. Zen is trading at $16, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,460. Antiwar.com reports Turkish officials announced Wednesday that they sent hundreds of additional special forces, along with tanks, armored vehicles, and other equipment, across the border into Syria's Idlib province. They are intended to reinforce Turkish military posted in northern Syria. Turkish officials say that the intention is to deter the Syrian military from launching an offensive against the Idlib province, which is under control of various rebel factions, the largest of which is Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front. Turkey is aligned with some of these fighters in supporting regime change in Syria. In addition to boosting their direct military presence in Idlib, Turkey has also sent a large amount of additional weapons and ammunition for rebels to use. Rebel sources say they have been told Turkey will provide military support for a long, protracted battle. Idlib and neighboring areas are the last major rebel enclaves inside Syria. For Syria to recover the territory would effectively end the war, though doing so is likely to take a major offensive. Syrian and Russian planes have been conducting airstrikes along the outskirts, trying to soften up defenses before a ground invasion. There is no timetable for such an invasion. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports lawmakers in the U.S. House and Senate say they agreed Thursday on a bipartisan fiscal package that seeks to avert President Donald Trump's promise to shut down the government in an effort to get funding for his proposed border wall. The spending bills would fund some two-thirds of the government, including the Pentagon and the Health and Human Services Department. The package also includes a stopgap spending measure to ensure the government stays open through December 7th. Details of the package have not been revealed. Representative Rodney Frelinghuysen, chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations, said the bipartisan package, should Trump sign it, would avoid a battle over a potential shutdown until after the midterm elections. Trump has threatened to force a government shutdown on October 1st if a spending bill does not include the billions of dollars he would need to build his border wall. Politico reported that lawmakers hope the fiscal packages agreed upon Thursday will make it politically impossible for Trump to do so. Representative Rosa DeLauro said the president will have to sign it into law or shut down the government. House and Senate aides told CNN that the White House said Trump plans to sign the package. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Attorney General Jeff Sessions on Thursday vowed to fight back against federal courts that issue injunctions barring the federal government from implementing regulations nationwide and accused federal judges of engaging in judicial activism. In a speech in Missouri, Sessions revealed he was issuing new litigation guidelines that he said would assist our department attorneys in fighting unconstitutional orders all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Nationwide injunctions have become a favored tool by states and other groups who have staunchly opposed many of the Trump administration's more controversial policy initiatives. They allow a single judge in one federal district to block the implementation of new rules across the entire country. The new guidelines call on DOJ litigators to fight back against cases that involve nationwide injunctions. During the Obama administration, Republican-led state attorneys general and business groups often sought nationwide injunctions, a strategy that has since been more often deployed by Democratic state attorneys general and civil rights groups who seek to block many of President Donald Trump's policies. According to Sessions, courts have issued nationwide injunctions 25 times since Trump took office. Sessions said in a statement, "This trend must stop. We have a government to run. The Constitution does not grant a single district judge the power to veto executive branch actions." This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review.
A study published Friday by the University of Minnesota found that mosquitoes have no physiological reason for biting humans, with researchers noting that the insects feed exclusively on pollen and seemingly only suck human blood out of spite.
According to our findings, mosquitoes usually spit out the blood after a bite. They just really enjoy ruining outdoor activities and spreading deadly diseases.
Researchers added that mosquitoes often bite a variety of vertebrates besides humans, including baby pandas, koala bears, and very small puppies, all for fun. And in tech news, a new Visa talking credit card urges buyers to go for it.
Come on, buy it. You know you want it.
In other news, the utterance of a secret password grants customers access to a long-rumored 18-inch Subway sandwich. It's easy to tell what an area man would look like as a skeleton, and a longtime teacher retires without changing a single student's life. This week's scheduled interview with the surly and forlorn Matthew Modine was cut for time and is doomed to never be seen. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live, launching into another hour of your show where you can take control of the airwaves. You can bring up whatever you want, or sit back and we'll figure stuff out to talk about. In fact, last week, Melanie, you had a story. I teased it. We never got to it. So we ought to do that tonight. And I still don't even know what it's really about. All you've told me is it's about financial abortions. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a comment on how bad people are at handling their money or what that is. So we're going to find that out. It's Ian, Melanie, and Mark in the studio here tonight. The toll-free number again, 855-450, free like freedom. What is a financial abortion? And why are we talking about it?
I have a guess, and I think that we discussed this sometime way in the past.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so this...
Well, wait, should Mark take his guess first?
Yeah.
Do you want me to be right?
I'm pretty sure you can figure it out.
Yes. I don't know why he can't. That's the
me
thing.
neither.
So why don't you just go ahead?
I want you to guess first.
All right. A financial abortion is a man's right that does not exist, a theoretical man's right to forswear paternity of a child. So basically, a woman has a right to choose to have an abortion at the very least well into the second trimester. A man ceases the right to cease responsibility for a pregnancy, whereas a woman has it for 4 months or so. A man has it for 0 minutes.
You've talked about this before.
Yes.
You've talked how you think a man should be able to, if a woman can abort a child, you think a man should be able to I want to abort my responsibility, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically aborting your responsibility.
Is that what is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, good job, Mark.
Yeah. So apparently this was an old story, but
see, I don't think about these things. I've got a vasectomy, so look, hey, baby, if
you don't sit
you're
around
pregnant,
and think about random philosophical issues. What's
if
wrong
you're pregnant,
with you?
it ain't me.
He doesn't.
It wasn't mine.
I don't know how anybody does it, but apparently most of them don't.
And you're my girlfriend, you've been cheating.
So apparently this is an old story, but it was going around a couple of weeks ago. So nothing else was interesting in the news, so I decided to bring it in. So this is from ABC, but ABC in Australia.
Got it.
The American broadcast.
No, it's not the same company.
All right.
So it could be whatever, but yeah, so, and this is a third wave feminist, which is not someone I'm inclined to agree with, but I agree with her, but just for way different reasons. So first she describes a couple who clearly doesn't want kids, or I don't know if this even constitutes a couple, but whatever. They clearly don't want kids and they're banging and they have a kid. So then she's talking about, well, the woman can opt out, and it's not fair that the man can't. So at least
that seems clear.
Yeah. So at least for consistency's sake, if you're going to say that you're okay with abortion, then you should not have a problem with this because, well, first of all, if you're okay with abortion, you're saying that sex is not what causes a baby, birth is what causes a baby. Okay, fine, but then I don't see how the man ever becomes responsible other than through adoption because he didn't do anything that caused the baby. But regardless of that,
I might have missed that. So what was this? Sex doesn't cause babies. What?
So if you're in favor of abortion, then essentially what you're saying is that sex doesn't cause a baby, or at least doesn't cause an obligation to a baby. Birth causes a baby or an obligation to a baby. So I don't see how a man would ever be, if you believe in abortion, would ever be obligated to a baby because he didn't do anything to cause one, or at least to cause an obligation to
You're
one.
saying if they believe that birth creates obligations as opposed to sex creating the obligation.
So just from that standpoint, for consistency, I don't
know anyone who believes that a baby was created by birth. Do you?
No. Well, it's obviously a fantastic position.
Well,
ludicrous position.
A lot of people will be like against the 9th month or whatever, 9th month terminations or something like that. But I mean, yeah, I actually have people argue with me that embryos aren't even human or aren't alive, which are both just biologically inaccurate. But yeah, people argue all kinds of stupid things.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of difference on this particular topic. Some people, I'll be one of those people who argue with you about it. I mean, to me, a fetus is clearly not a human because it's dependent on its mother to live. It's not fully formed.
So as a person is a vegetable?
It can't even see anything at that point.
Well, so is a comatose person not a human? Like, it is human is a species.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Homo sapien. Like, if you DNA test it, you will get Homo sapien DNA.
Right.
It is a human.
The reason that one supports
if I get
abortion,
to save a dog in a fire and an unborn fetus, I'm going to save the dog because it's a real thing.
I don't disagree with your estimation, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a human life.
Right. So, like, cops are still humans. I don't value them, but they're humans. So your value of something has nothing to do with what species it is. Like,
Sure.
I can't be like, well, I like dogs, but I don't like this dog, therefore it's not a dog. Like,
Right.
no, it's still a dog.
It's not a human that actually has any value.
I take my position that the fetus is a human life, but it's not like I'm pro-life. I'm actually pro-death. If you don't want a child, then by God, let's get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why would you want to have a child?
But that doesn't mean that I'm not willing to say, see, I've got guts, and I'm willing to say I'm pro-death. Death of human beings that are unwanted. I don't want added to this planet a whole bunch of people who are unwanted. And if you're taking your time to stand out in front of Planned Parenthood to protest abortion, why don't you just adopt some kids?
There you go. Hey, we can talk more about this financial abortion because it doesn't sound like that bad of an idea. But first, let's go to Lloyd. He's in Detroit and listening via the TuneIn app. Hello, Lloyd.
Yo, 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 what up? It's Lloyd in Detroit.
Lloyd, what's on your mind?
Not too much. Yo, it was pretty interesting to hear a little bit about your vasectomy, Ian.
It's really not that interesting.
I'm just surprised that he even has testicles.
It's not that interesting, but okay. Yeah, I got it when I was 23. So I guess that's unusual, right? Getting it that early.
Did they make you bring a note from your mommy or something?
No, but they did make sure that I was serious about it. Like they, tried to kind of talk me out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they said some people change their mind about.
They didn't try anything for me. They're like, "You're okay. You want that? No problem. Take this pill. Good night."
Well, they say that sometimes people will change their minds and then they feel bad that they didn't get talked out of it.
They fight less people who already have kids too. So.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. In fact, it's got me thinking maybe I'll just become a part of the great SNP.
Yeah,
in fact, it might be a good idea, before I start firing white slime into Lauren Rumpler.
Thanks for the call, Lloyd. Appreciate it. He's a big fan. Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733.
I mean, if you hate somebody that bad, you could
I think he actually really likes her.
Choose to not bang them,
I think he actually really likes her. But anyway, so yeah, great. I think it was a great investment in my future. Was the best $700 I ever spent on anything, I gotta say. It has paid for itself.
For me, in a relationship, my wife doesn't have to worry about things like taking the pill and all that stuff,
which can mess with hormones and can really throw them out of whack.
Sure. Yeah. So I find it to be convenient in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of the most commonly performed surgeries. Obviously, there's risk with all surgery, and they'll inform you of this when you go in and have your consultation or whatever. Because there's still risk involved. They're cutting you open. Something could go wrong, but it's so common and so really
infection.
So not invasive compared to most surgeries. It's a little snip. They cut up a little bit of your scrotum.
Pretty uncomfortable for a few days.
Yeah, I mean, you got to heal. You got to heal up. Obviously, there's gonna be some icing involved. You got to ice down, and
I've been cut in lots of places.
Yeah,
I have not felt that level of pain from being cut in any other place.
They used some kind of local anesthetic on me. They did not anesthetize you.
I'm not talking about.
You're talking about after the fact,
right? I was completely unconscious from a half a
Xanax.
Xanax.
Were you? Oh wow, I was awake for it.
Well,
I had a conversation with the doctor about New Hampshire.
I don't take.
He went to Dartmouth Medical School.
I don't know if I want to distract the doctor while they're cutting on me.
It's really not
take
that
drugs
complex.
real well, so they gave me half a Xanax and I was out.
Oh wow!
And I'm sure the people out there that have taken Xanax before are like, "Wow, that's lame."
Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We got plenty of time for you if you want to join us here, and you can bring up anything that's on your mind as well. Financial abortions, we got a little bit more about that and what those are coming up here. Your calls, thoughts about anything that's on your mind. You can take control of the airwaves here. And speaking of financial abortions, we can also talk about Venezuela coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition. The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. And Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening in your home anytime, anywhere. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. You can get 3 Blink cameras for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. Blink is an Amazon company.
Bitcoin.com wants you to know about SaveItPurse.com. Since launching in 2014, over 200,000 users have saved an average of 15% for a combined $4 million using Bitcoin, or BTC. And now you can use Bitcoin Cash, BCH, to fund your account. You can save between 5 to 33% on things you're going to buy anyway when you shop using SaveItPurse.com. Add items to your cart, fund your account, select your discount, and save. SaveItPurse.com. Save ATPurse.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Maximus scavenged through a wasteland swarming with the undead.
Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Welcome to Free Talk Live. You're invited to take control of the airwaves. Here, our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got Discord. The Discord on-air call-in lines are open and available to you over at discord.lrn.fm. Just jump on in, any one of those, and we'll jump in there with you. And you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us, including me, Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
And looks like Will Coley from Call to Freedom has been banned from Facebook for a 30-day ban for posting something that really shouldn't have been bannable. But hey, it's their site. They can ban you for whatever reason they want to. And I suggested to Will that maybe now would be a good time to just go ahead and quit Facebook entirely. It's kind of like when you're in jail, right? Like Facebook has put you in jail, their little Facebook jail. You can't come back for 30 days. Like when you're in jail, unless you're resourceful, you probably aren't going to get your hands on cigarettes in, a 30-day jail say. It's possible. It can be done. But then you have to think about how they got smuggled in, and you probably don't want to think too hard about how cigarettes get smuggled into jail. But, if you've quit for 30 days, I'm always like, well, you quit 30 days smoking. You've gotten past the hardest part. Why don't you just quit all the way once you get out?
Because there's no benefit to smoking.
Well, there's a slight buzz that some people get.
Okay, there's no benefit.
There's no benefit to smoking.
No, there really isn't. Long term, there certainly is.
There's just no benefit to smoking.
The buzz can be a little pleasant. I mean, I've enjoyed the
vaporizer
nicotine.
People who smoke and continue to smoke don't keep getting that buzz.
I've heard that that's true. Yeah, I've heard that's
like
true.
If you don't smoke for 3 years and then randomly smoke a cigarette, probably you will again. But
it's just the beginning of a headache. It's not a buzz, okay? Whereas Facebook allows you to keep in touch with family and friends and people from school and things like that.
So does a bunch of other platforms.
Well,
you can
Facebook
send them an email.
is ubiquitous. Here's what my recommendation is. Stop having contentious libertarian arguments on Facebook. Whatever you're trying to do as outreach isn't working anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to, if you want to spend your time more productively, don't be on Facebook. Use other services like Mastodon, which is a decentralized version of Twitter, basically. And we've been using it here recently behind the scenes at Free Talk Live. We've got a Mastodon account on the new Liberdon server. So if you still want to have some level of social networking, it doesn't have to be in the form of a Facebook. You can try this out. Go to toot.freetalklive.com. It's T-O-O-T, toot, because they call them toots instead of tweets. Toot.freetalklive.com. That'll take you over to the Free Talk Live Mastodon page. You can follow us there. And while you're at it, well, in order to follow us, you'll have to create an account for yourself. So you ought to do that and try out some alternatives. In fact, somebody was just posting to me today about a decentralized Facebook competitor now as well. I forget what the name of it was.
I'd heard about Diaspora, but I don't know.
No, this is a different one. This is a newer thing. I haven't had a chance to look into it at all, and honestly, I'm fine with Mastodon, so I don't
need a new social media platform. I want actually fewer of them.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Well, I mean, the whole idea behind social media was that originally that you could connect with people and that you could follow what they do and they could follow the things that you do. That was the idea.
Sounds good.
And for a while, it worked on Facebook, and then Facebook changed their business model. They changed their platform to make it so instead of just selling advertising to advertisers to reach their huge $2 billion or 2 billion person user base or however many people there are. There's a lot of damn people on Facebook. Maybe it's 1 billion, whatever. Instead of just selling ads to them, they then decided they were going to just go ahead and make it so you couldn't reach the people that you had previously been able to reach by posting on your Facebook. And if you want to reach those people, now you have to pay Facebook to actually put your message out there to the very same people who you could reach, 8 years ago or whenever it was that you could do that.
They did change things, yeah.
So if the purpose of social media is to see and be seen by people who you're interested in and people who are interested in you, Facebook is not good for that anymore. But the other platforms are still good for it. Twitter still does that. And then also, of course, Mastodon does it in a decentralized manner to where no Twitter admin can get a stick up their butt and ban your Mastodon account. So keep that in mind. You can follow us on Twitter. We're still over at twitter.freetalklive.com. But if you really want the most censorship-free option, then there are two choices. There's our Mastodon account at toot.freetalklive.com. And you can just go straight to the source, which is where we put our social media posts first nowadays, which is our Telegram account. You can follow our Telegram channel at telegram.freetalklive.com. So, Melanie, you wanted to talk about financial abortions, which is the idea of a man being able to just say, nope, I'm not going to support this child that I sired because I don't feel like it. If you can abort the baby, lady, physically, then I should be able to abort financially. That's basically the argument, right?
Right.
Okay. So what brought this about?
Facebook.
Okay. What was being argued on Facebook?
Something.
Financial abortions.
Okay. Was there any point about it that you wanted to, express?
Yeah. So, I mean, just for consistency's sake, I think that if you're in favor of abortion, you have to be in favor of this, but...
Does that mean you're against financial abortions because you're against abortion?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
So... Because if you're saying this isn't a life I have to support, if you can kill it, then of course you can walk away from it. Like, that's ridiculous.
Right. That would be fair.
But, so her reasons are that, her reasons are equality.
This is this third
reasons for
feminist.
what?
Her reasons for supporting financial abortion are equality, that it will empower women by allowing them to choose up front. Like, the guy could just kind of sneak away 5 years later, but this allows them to choose up front what they want to do.
Choose up front how? I'm confused.
So if the guy's not going to be around because he has the ability to just be like, I'm walking, that's useful information to have instead of him...
But doesn't that presume that the baby was planned in the first place? Because a lot of babies are unplanned.
No, because you kind of have 9 months.
Right.
So just because I agree with this doesn't mean that I agree for the same reasons this gal does. And I guess I have this sort of bigoted belief about some feminists, a good percentage of feminists. I don't know which ones, but I'm always looking for this belief that they basically hate heterosexual sex. And specifically the masculine portion of heterosexual sex, that male sexuality is ugly, nasty, and should be gotten rid of, and that I would think that this, just a guess, this lady is hoping that making heterosexual sex less palatable, which is to say not being able to hold men responsible for the outcomes, the reasonable and foreseeable outcomes of sex, which is pregnancy.
That will disincline women to have sex?
Disincline women to have sex. Women are always generally more disinclined towards sex than men are anyway.
I don't think that's true.
I'm going to go ahead and stand by that.
Biology kind of made that true.
Right. I'm sorry
and we haven't had
you
a
don't
work
like reality,
yet.
but women are less likely to engage in sexual activity than men are if the opportunities are presented. So you present a woman...
Is there a statistic about that? Because I don't believe it.
Okay. I'll tell you this. If you were a woman and I'm...
Are you saying women don't have the same sex drive as men?
No. I'm saying that they're less likely to engage in sex than men are. So if a guy goes to the bar, he's hoping...
So you're saying a woman is less... so they have the same sex drive, but they're not as driven?
Women are more disincentivized to have sex because of biology.
There's more coming up here in moments. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We also have the Discord on-air call-in lines. Is it true, ladies, what they're saying? 855-450-3733. It's Free Talk Live.
Ever wonder how Bitcoin and Ethereum were created? Vercel Media has helped hundreds of companies and individuals make their own cryptocurrency. Decentralized blockchain solutions are making the world more transparent and giving power back to the people. Vercel Media has helped companies raise tens of millions in the past year alone, structuring and marketing ICOs to the thirsty crypto public worldwide. Don't miss the cryptocurrency revolution. Visit vercelmedia.com, VERCEL media.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, and take control of the airwaves here if you want to join us. Our number is 855-450-FREE. We're talking about the financial abortion concept, the idea that if a woman can have an abortion, then why shouldn't a man be able to abort his financial responsibility? That's essentially the concept.
That sounds right.
You can share your thoughts with us if you like. Our number again, 855-450-FREE. Or if you really like what we do here at Free Talk Live, you can get behind the show financially via the AMP program.
Unabort us.
There you go. Like D. Harvey has done. He's a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier. And we are going through and giving shout-outs to all of our amplifiers, well, the ones that are public, at least, because you can by default, you're a private amplifier, and then you can sort of out yourself publicly if you wish.
Sure, if you work for the NSA and you don't want your full name known as an amplifier, you could either give your first name or you can give no name at all.
Correct. So thank you to D. Harvey for longtime support of the AMP program. He's doing silver, which is $5 a month, and that's all that we ask of the ampers. You can become a Free Talk Live amplifier over at amp.freetalklive.com. You'll get access to perquisites like cool stuff like the AMP Only Facebook group, the AMP Only call-in lines, the AMP Only podcast, which doesn't have the same commercials. It doesn't have really any recorded commercials, at least, on our AMP podcast. And other cool features like amplifiers get special access to a couple of Discord chats, as well as a special Free Talk Live listener badge on the Free Talk Live forums. So go and head over to amp.freetalklive.com. We actually hit the 200 mark again. We'd been faltering below 200 for a little while, and we've actually added a few here and there to get back to 200 people back in the amplifier program.
Thank you to everybody.
Yeah, thank you to everybody, no matter how long or short of a time you've been.
What I love about it is it makes me feel like other people value what I do. I don't get a single penny out of the amplifier program, but I think that Free Talk Live is an important outreach tool for the ideas of liberty.
You've had some sushi before paid for by the AMP program.
Right. You have bought a meal for me while I'm traveling
on the AMP program.
The Talkers New Media Seminar or whatever to represent Free Talk Live. Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. But yes, it's something we really appreciate because it is nice to have support. It's nice to have people saying, we like what you do, we want you to do more of it, and we want to hear this on more radio stations, because that's really what a lot of the AMP money goes towards, is marketing and advertising Free Talk Live in the radio business, so we can get the ideas of liberty out there as far and as wide as possible. And the fact is, we love the internet. We're based on the internet. We've been on the internet since day number one. But broadcast radio still reaches a lot of people. A lot of people who weren't intending to hear the ideas of liberty. When you're on the internet, you pretty much have to seek us out in order to find us, although some people kind of stumble on us on our Twitch feed at twitch.lrn.fm. There are ways to stumble upon us.
We get lots of internet listeners through the radio, too. Some people will just go find the podcast because they want to hear everything.
Right. So check us out. Go to the AMP program. Please get signed up. You can use credit card. You can use PayPal. You can use Bitcoin BTC over at ampamp.freetalklive.com. I know, Melanie, you've got some more excerpts, some more that you wanted to share from this story about the financial abortions. And apparently you call her a third wave feminist. Now, there's different waves of feminism. Is third the most recent, or is there also a fourth wave now?
I guess you can make that argument, but
I think that mostly it's non-feminists making the argument that there's a fourth wave.
Okay, and so we'll get into more on the financial abortion topic. But first, we have Vernon. He's on the line in New Orleans. He says he's got a question for Mark. Go ahead, Vernon.
Yeah, it's a stupid question. And this will take a second. Mark, when are you planning on taking your winter break so that I can make alternative listening arrangements?
Oh, he's a fan.
Yeah, I do have a trip planned for October with the family, but
You're taking 2 breaks this time.
I intend to be back and forth, this winter, so I'm not going to be gone for, some super extended period of time.
Oh, really?
But I will be gone. Well, it depends on what you call super extended, right?
Yeah. Aren't you going to Acapulco for like a month?
I am going to Acapulco, but we will be going. Well, the show is going to Acapulco too. So, if I can get you to come, we could just do the show from Acapulco.
Maybe. I haven't made a decision about this yet because I like New Hampshire.
I don't know. I think Ian should open up his mind a little bit more to allowing you to participate remotely. I think you make the show what it is. Thank you all.
Well,
thanks for the call, Vernon. I'm done with you.
Ian has given me the opportunity to participate remotely, although I can't pipe in through, say, Skype or something and be on the show that way as a co-host.
Sucks.
I can, however, I have the final segment of the show for Edgington Post interviews and stuff like that. So my voice, which, as long as I've got internet, I can do these Edgington Post interviews, and my voice will be on the air because I can do recorded interviews, hopefully of very interesting people in that final segment. And many times Ian's scraping the bottom of the barrel out. He's got Sarah or whatever, calling in, and, maybe it's just a better idea to put
You are better than Sarah. I'll give you that.
An interview on.
However, here she is, Sarah in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live.
Oh,
did you hear that? He called you the bottom of the barrel, Sarah. What do you think about that?
Well, I thought I was the most diligent caller. I was
You are a diligent caller.
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
But I guess calls about the moon landing will usually raise my hackles.
Was that last night?
Yeah, last night we had to talk about moon landing not being true. So, it makes me.
So wait, she doesn't think the moon landing's true, but she believes people are living on the moon.
That's correct.
Well, that's correct. That's correct. That there's a
How the hell did they get there?
book that's written. I mean, you know what? There's a book that's written about it. It's like a planet just like ours. There's people on it.
You know,
there's
any
cities
damn
on it.
fool with a pen can write a book, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I have.
You know, it's easier now. I know you don't know a whole lot about the internet, but it's easier now than ever to publish your own book. So back in the old days, when you were growing up, for instance, authors actually had to send their books that they wanted to become, or what they've written that they want to become a published book. They had to send it to publishers, and there's all these stories about these famous authors getting rejected, like 100 rejections.
No reason to get rejected now.
Before they finally got accepted by some publishing house, and then they get their book published, and then they become a successful and world-renowned author. Well, now you can just bypass that whole process. There are companies who will just go ahead and publish whatever tripe it is that you send to them. It doesn't matter how poorly edited it is. It doesn't matter if it's well researched or anything like that.
They don't care.
Anybody can publish a book now, so it means even less than it ever did. Not that it meant a whole lot in the past, but it means even less now than that, Sarah. So it's not really impressive.
I am convinced of it, but I called in because I'm proud of myself. I called in today to ask for application to vote by mail. And, New Mexico...
You should have called for job applications while you were at it.
It's a long, long story. But the thing about it is that, I've asked for the application to vote by mail. And in New Mexico, you could be anybody. You could be just... you're agoraphobia, you don't want to come out, you don't want to take the bus, you could be lazy like I am and just have the ballot come to you. That's the beauty of the Democrats.
You admitted it. She admitted to being lazy.
Well, I kind of ask you this, Sarah. You would agree that in any activity, there's going to be somebody who's below average and somebody who's going to be above average, right?
Right.
So voting, by definition, allows the half of the population that's below average to voice their opinion on the form of government we're going to have, correct?
Well, that's true. You know what? You're right.
Half of the population would be below the median.
What's that? Yes.
Yeah, I mean...
You said below average.
Yeah,
the average is the median.
No, it is not.
A median is a form of average.
No.
Yes.
No, they're two different mathematical concepts.
Fine.
A median is the point at which half are above and half are below. Averages are the total amount of whatever divided by the number.
You're correct in the way that you're stating it, but a median is a form of average.
No, it's not. Well, anyway, go ahead, Sarah.
Well, the thing about it is that if you only had intelligent people to vote, you're only going to have what the intelligent people, the elite people want, and you leave everybody else out of what they need. Like
only having decisions that intelligent people made seems like a really good way to run anything.
No, voting is a really poor way to run anything. I'm going to say no voting whatsoever.
Half of the brain surgeons should be idiots.
Thanks, Sarah, for the call tonight. More coming up. Your calls, thoughts, welcome. If you want to join us in the remaining moments, you can do that now. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. And we've also got Discord over at discord.lrn.fm. Join us on Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Here is what one satisfied customer had to say about Heart and Body Extract regarding his angina pain.
I haven't had an angina pain since I've been on it. The Heart Body Extract is just so great. I thank God that I was led to this product that's doing so much for me and that can do so much for other people.
Call to order your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can dial toll-free. Take control of the airwaves here to bring up whatever is on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Or head on over to our Discord on-air call-in lines over at discord.lrn.fm. I mentioned our Twitch feed. You can follow us there if you like. That is our video platform on which you can watch the show while it's live, or you can pull it up later on. If you're not able to watch us live from 7 to 10 at night Eastern Time, Twitch keeps a couple weeks worth of archives there in HD quality. And if you're smart, you can download one of those Twitch leeching programs. If there's like a real favorite episode you want to download in HD, you can download it from Twitch via one of those programs. And, of course, we also have our YouTube channel, which has years' worth of Free Talk Live video archives, but they're not in HD quality. So if you want to watch the best video feed possible, Twitch has it. Go to twitch.lrn.fm, and that's the Liberty Radio Network feed. So you'll also get the Call to Freedom, which is another great show on LRN, as well as Vincent's Saturday night show, Questioning Authority. Any show that's produced here in the Keene, New Hampshire studios of LRN.fm will be on that channel. So check it out over at twitch.lrn.fm. And every now and then I'll play something like Doom or some other kind of video game. So once in a while, there's actually a game. It's usually no more than once every few weeks, but sometimes I'll get in a little streak and maybe do it a little more often. So check it out at twitch.lrn.fm. You can follow us, and then you'll get notices if you like, either via email or if you've got the Twitch app installed, it'll just ping you right there in the app and let you know when one of the shows is going live, including Free Talk Live. So we've been talking about financial abortion. The idea that a man should be able to, if a woman can abort a baby, then why shouldn't a man be able to abort his financial responsibility for that baby? And I think that makes sense. Melanie, you're saying that a woman who is a feminist is also advocating for this particular policy.
I mean, so in the way I use feminist, I think more accurately would describe most women in America and probably most in Australia too. But so she's, so whatever she is. But yeah, I agree with her conclusion, but for different reasons, and I used to disagree with it. But
really, so you've changed your mind on this issue?
Yeah. So my original thought process was, well, you're responsible for the kid because you made the kid. Women are legally allowed to commit feticide. That doesn't really change what your responsibilities are.
I think I might have felt that way previously as well, but I'm also against feticide. So the fact that sometimes people commit murder does not make it then okay for some other person to abandon their kid. But beside from that, so if somebody's going to be stuck paying for the kid, it should be the person who, so the kid's going to get paid for. So should it be get paid for by the person who is responsible for and incentivized to risk making kids, or should it just be divided up by the 300 million people or however many of those actually pay taxes? So if I have to take money from someone, regardless of what I think about the mother, I'm going to take it from the person who is responsible for the situation. I also thought that would disincentivize men from recklessly making babies. Apparently that's not the case. No.
That's not big enough a disincentive.
I think that nature designed men to recklessly create babies.
Right, but we didn't evolve with like child support. So
we didn't evolve with child support.
That's not necessarily child support apparently does not overcome that, but something that existed after we evolved doesn't necessarily not overcome something we evolved.
It can be hard to, in the moment, and I'm sure this is true for men and women, in the heat of the moment, to think about all those those things that could happen down the line as a result of you doing what you're driven to do.
You have plenty of time as any. Well, I'm not going to pick a gender here. You have plenty of time to think about the ramifications of a simple act like sex long before it occurs.
Yeah, that's true.
And if your claim is, I just got caught up, I got carried away.
It's not like you turned 18 and then bam, naked women in your bedroom.
Right.
Like, that's not how this works.
Right. I mean, you knew ahead of time whether you're going to wear a condom or not.
Yeah.
You made that decision that you were not going to do such a thing. You made the decision that you were going to have
But what if she poked holes in the condom? Then you didn't really
bring
think
your
about
own
that.
then.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't.
or don't sleep with people who are that psycho. Either way, pick one. I care, but I care very little which one you pick. There are so many methods of preventing kids you don't want. Pick one and run with it.
Indeed.
Right. I think that poking holes in a condom is a crime.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my opinion. If you can prove that somebody poked holes in a condom, it's a crime. If you can't prove it, you made a terrible...
What's the crime? Just fraud, or is there an actual, like...
Well, I would say that's assault, because condoms don't only prevent pregnancy, they also prevent other things.
Sure.
It's a high level.
So if I expose you to bodily fluids that you don't want under any other circumstances, that's very clearly recognized as a crime.
Yep. That's a good point. That definitely would be an assault. Let's go to David. He's on the line in New Mexico on our Discord on-air call-in line. Go ahead, David.
Yeah. When there's a whole lot more to this topic than you've discussed so far. There's a lot of other things encompassed.
All right,
Women
pick one.
Certainly are. Well, I'm not going to pick one. I'm not going to play that game. I'm glad that Mark and Melanie schooled you. Ian, you and I butted heads on sex drives differential and the way they're handled between males and females in the past. And Melanie and Mark basically sided up with me. I don't want to waste any more time on that. I just wanted to touche on that one. And
I don't remember what the point was.
It doesn't matter. A few programs ago, ironically on September 13th, which is the birth date of my firstborn child, who's now just had a birthday, 22. I don't even care because she has no interest in her father because her mother used the laws of the state in order to destroy any possible relationship between my child and me, her father. And this is just one. This is the one you're discussing is just one more of them. And changing that would be bringing some parity in. Oh, ironically, on that date, which was that kid's birthday, you discussed an incident in New Mexico where there was a lawyer in arguing for the state of New Mexico for the Secretary of State's office. It was on voting stuff. And her name was Jane Yohalam. Ironically, Jane Yohalam won my unanimous 3-judge appeal at the New Mexico Court of Appeals, saying that my child was illegally trafficked. And that's just another example of how parents, whether male or female, get screwed over by people who have men with guns or people that are backed up by men with guns, deciding that they are better than nature, that they know better than nature, and that whatever created this world and runs this world is no longer in power because we men with guns are now in power. And we will tell you whose child is whose and whose parent is whose and what's going to go on around here and whose money is going to go.
I got to say, all the horror stories about people getting screwed over by the court system was one major reason why I got a vasectomy. I did not want to find myself in any kind of situation like that. Besides the fact that I didn't want anything to do with having children. If I ever had one, I would not want to.
And if you wanted children, you can always adopt.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. David, any other thoughts? Go ahead.
One more. Yeah, one. I'll leave you with one last example because, like I said, there's a ton more of parity issues where humans have jumped in and messed with nature and totally screwed up. Oh, by the way, they're doing this not because of the parent or the child or the abortion. They're doing this to control you. They use all of these different things that you discuss nightly. Every single one of them is designed to break down natural order and take control with man-made order. Once again, by those that have the guns. That's the whole point of it.
Absolutely.
So don't get distracted. Yeah, don't get distracted by the other stuff. So
good call, David. Thanks for making it tonight. Appreciate it. Once again, toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom. Any other thoughts on financial abortion that you want to share, Melanie? Go ahead.
So then she said it gives women the ability to plan ahead because at 1 month pregnant versus when the kid's 5, and then that she wants to disattach responsibility from sex, basically. But so my thoughts are, and I was thinking about this, so if you are allowed to give a kid up for adoption, and I don't think that you shouldn't be, I see no reason to be able to say, well, a woman can give the kid up for adoption, but the man can't basically do the same thing. But also, I think it kind of rebalances the incentives. We've kind of taken away women's disincentives to do this. And, unfortunately or fortunately...
This makes it more fair, is what you're saying.
No, it replaces some of the disincentives that pre-existed. So if you're not allowed to just take somebody's income for however long, you're more incentivized to kind of be careful about it.
We'll be back tomorrow night. You can join us online in the meantime. Go check out Melanie's website, tax.freetalklive.com, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Email is easy, instant, and free, and that can be real embarrassing. Email lacks the eye contact and body language you get in face-to-face conversation, or the tone of voice and other nuance you hear in a telephone conversation. Email is just words, often few words. We're all smothering in spam, so we often reply in terse fashion that's easy to misunderstand. And email doesn't cost you a postage stamp, and it lacks the deliberation time it'd take to walk to the snail mail box. So it's easy to succumb to the "oh yeah" stimulus response trap. When in doubt, don't snap back at snippy messages you get. You may have mistaken the sender's intent. And unless you're sending AOL to AOL, there's no unsend. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists,